Hello, I am Daniel Bloodworth. We are Easy Allies, and this is the Easy Allies podcast. This week, we've got Michael Huber.
Hello.
Michael Damiani.
Very tempted to turn this into a sports podcast, but I'll behave.
You have your own show. You can do it there. Make it all happen in the control room. We've got Isla Hank.
Okay, so about the new tackling rule.
You don't even know what the new tackling rule is.
I don't have any idea what that is. I don't know what you guys are talking about.
No,
stop it. Stop it. Stop it. No.
Don's back there. Gabby's back there.
4.
She says 4.
Thor.
I don't know why she's... Oh, that's her bet. She's spoiling
Spoiler.
her bet.
Whoa.
We could talk about pizza.
Okay.
Weird. Is that a DQ blood?
No, because we all written it down, but it is a little weird. But
Blood's
nobody can
upset.
pick up a pen. All right.
Should I say mine too? Because it's way higher than that.
Friends, we're here to talk about what's new, what's news, and what we've been playing. There's a ton of stuff this week. We've got Amy Hennig's new Marvel game that's probably like basically
Dude.
Uncharted with Captain America and Black Panther.
Dude.
We got Dragon's Dogma 2 impressions
Yes.
from the full game. Finally, it's
Hell
here.
yeah.
We've got Rise of the Ronin impressions. That game is also sick.
So good. All right, Huber hates it.
Huber hasn't played it, don't you?
I have, actually.
Okay.
When did you play it?
Last night.
For how long?
4 hours.
Oh, okay.
Okay, maybe. But it's good. Anyways, we got a bunch of news from GDC. We got the February sales report. It's crazy. We're going to get right into it, starting off with Marvel 1943 Rise of Hydra.
Holy fuck, Hydra. This needs to be said every time.
So
Scum. Hydra scum.
We got like the pre-announcement, right? They made a deal announcement back in the day, right? So this
Yep.
is Amy Hennig's game from Skydance New Media. Captain America and Black Panther. We see the trailer is in occupied Paris. It cuts between their perspectives.
Saboteur vibes.
Right. Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. And
Will Coulson be in here?
No,
no
unfortunately.
Colson. This is way before Colson
Yeah.
was born.
Coulson is not alive yet.
Never. I know, but supernatural stuff. You never
I mean,
know.
if the game ends like the movie and you get frozen and woken up in the future.
There you go. There
Yeah.
you go, Huber. Optimism.
Yep.
There you go.
So they're both here in Paris on their own agendas. There's one line that Cap says is like that basically there's 3 super soldiers in the Paris.
Yeah,
and that's
yeah.
Too many.
I want to know who it is.
Yeah, who's the third
Great
one? Who are they
mystery.
following up?
Super good mystery.
They say story-driven action adventure. So we are assuming this is going to be somewhat like Uncharted, but also we have to fit in like their acrobatics and everything. So we're not seeing any gameplay, just cinematic shots in
Yeah.
this.
And the graphics are very good.
They are insane.
Yeah, this is in-engine stuff.
They are insane.
Which, remember, in-engine means that
Right.
like it's like if
Right.
you had a PC with max superpowers.
And it's CG like story stuff. So yeah, but still.
Yeah, but they even showed, and we'll get into that in a second, but they even showed like, them tweaking things in real time and everything, like you could do with that Matrix demo.
Oh yeah.
There are 4 playable heroes. There is Azuri, played by Carrie Payton. That's the World War II era Black Panther, T'Challa's grandfather.
So sick.
Steve Rogers, played by Drew Moreland, or Moreland, I'm not sure. Nanali, played by Megalyn Echikunwoke. I'm guessing on the pronunciation, sorry. Wakandan spy embedded in occupied Paris, so she's been there. She knows what's up.
So sick.
And then Gabriel Jones, played by Mark Richardson, U.S. soldier and member of the Howling Commandos.
Hell yeah, Howling Commandos. Let's go.
And then rounding it off, there's a member of the French Resistance named Julie. And then there is Howard Stark is going to be in there
It's
as
so
well.
funny because if you watch it with subtitles, it's like Howard is Howard, and then it's like the VO or whatever. It's like, oh, that was Howard Stark talking, because you don't know. Unless,
Oh, okay. Sure.
yeah.
Composed by Stephen Barton, who just won the Grammy for Star Wars Jedi Survivor.
Nice.
2025, but they do say globe-trotting in the description. So again, similar to Uncharted, we're probably going to be in Paris for a bit, but then we're going to go off other places. One of the thumbnail art things, you could see like a shot of Paris behind them, but also a shot of Wakanda behind them. So I'm hoping we actually go to Wakanda.
Yeah.
And we see them fight on the bridge. But obviously, if you're going to have all 4 of these guys playable and globetrotting, you're probably going to be teaming up pretty quickly.
Oh, yeah,
This is probably
uneasy
like
lines.
the first mission or
For
something. Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
This is hype as hell. What a great trailer. I know there's no like real gameplay,
Right.
but the visuals are so good, and the acting, like every character, like freaking Black Panther's acting is so
Yeah.
good in this. Captain America has a really good vibe.
Yeah, go ahead and start running this Unreal Engine stuff because it goes on for a little bit.
Yeah, and this is what
Oh yeah, that
I want, and I feel like a lot of people wanted instead of the Avengers, you
Yeah.
know, live service type game. It's like, dude, just give me a sick Marvel story, you know? It doesn't need to be like every Avenger, it doesn't need to be
Right.
live service multiplayer. I just think it's a really cool setting. Like Hydra is one of my number 1 hated villains ever in media, so I'm very excited to go toe to toe with them. And I just think it's a really cool dynamic with Captain America and Black Panther. I love in this trailer that Captain America is like following Black Panther, just like slowly behind him, catching up, and then they, you know, have that duel on the bridge.
Yeah,
Like,
it looks like they're not that far ahead.
yeah. It's just a really cool premise. I love the 40s setting. Like I'm hyped on this game.
We're sitting here staring at some mud and snow here because this is the engine demo.
this
Which
was
is crazy
cool,
because they were
actually.
showing like they're using it like a virtual set. They have like camera gear that a guy was literally using. That's wild.
Yeah, and what they do here is they kind of break down the layers. Here it goes, you know, and they're talking about like adaptive tessellation with nanite. We heard about nanite when they first were showing off Unreal 5, but they're basically showing just like how complex of things that they can make while still like keeping like the like polygon budgets and stuff pretty low. And then a little bit past this, they actually show like a barrel with like snow piling up on it, and they say like
Cool.
actual like geometry of snow, like actual physical interactable snow
So dope.
putting up in the world. And then
Yeah.
here's the snow falling on the barrels. And then if you go to the next link I have, this smoke that they show off here is crazy. This is called heterogeneous volume. And so usually when they do smoke effects, it's all in a particle system, and it's kind of it is literally kind of like a smoke and mirrors sort of thing.
It's funny.
But here they have this smoke that's it's getting light from both the fire and the light above. It's casting shadows on the background. It's casting shadows on itself, and then it's just kind of rounded out with some extra particles for the sparks and things like that.
Looks insane.
And
Dope.
then now go to that last clip. This is the winner clip for me. They're talking about the performance capture and
It's
stuff.
insane.
And so they show this
dude.
scene again with the mask off. And this is when I knew it was Carrie Payton before they've confirmed it and
funny.
showed them in the audience. They're like, oh yeah, that's Carrie Payton right there.
God, it looks so
It looks
insane.
so good.
It looks unreal. Like, you remember the Samaritan tech demo for
Right.
like Unreal Engine 3 or something?
But that was at the
What-
same thing. There's always at the State of Unreal presentations.
It's like where, graphics will never be that good. Now you go back and watch it, and it's like, doesn't even hold a candle to this. It's so out of control. Yeah, just the World War II, like a World War II superhero setting, I think is so interesting. I know that's a lot of Captain America stories, but like, last time we did that was the Captain America First Avengers game on like 360, which is a sick game, but this has the potential to blow that out of the water.
Yeah.
And like Amy Hennig is such a good.
Well, and that's the thing too,
pedigree.
is
She's
like
been, like,
she's
trying
had
to make
this
a game for
curse
so
like
long.
since
I was
Uncharted.
gonna joke like it's too bad this game is gonna get canceled because she
Yeah.
can't catch a break. but-
Seriously.
Well, it's her own studio now.
Yeah.
So that helps.
Yeah.
She's a firm boss, She'll cancel her own game if she
Go
wants.
cancel. But I mean, you could.
Yeah.
Probably not at this point, but
And we definitely need to see gameplay. Like, it's way too early.
Yeah.
But as far as announcement trailer, I had no idea this game was even coming, really.
Yeah.
So
Again,
as far
vague
as,
Marvel game from Amy Hennig. That's what we knew.
Yeah. Now I'm like, wow, very excited. Again, need to see gameplay, but
I do
really
wonder
good
if,
first look.
is EA sweating because they're working on the Black Panther game themselves. You know,
Maybe.
it's like, oh, hey, look at that.
Yeah. Yeah, I wonder.
And then, let's move on to the rest of that State of Unreal. Obviously, they were going through a lot of the features. You know, there's a 5.4 tech update there. It's in preview now. It'll be broadly available to everyone in like a month or two. And then they showed Dune Awakening, which has been making some preview rounds. But again, showing off. One of the things they're showing off here, Huber, was just sort of the quote-unquote synergy between like the movie production and the game production. You know, it's like they used a lot of the same tools for previs when working on the film, and
That's
so
fun.
you know a lot of it kind of crosses over for what they're wanting to do with the game. They're showing off like the sand and all that, you know, and the footsteps in the sand for the game.
Yeah.
And
good timing for that.
yeah,
Movie.
yeah, because everyone's like into that movie right now. So.
Super good timing.
So hopefully that won't be too far off. I forget what the date is on Dune Awakening. And then another game they showed here is Chrono Odyssey.
Chrono Odyssey.
And this is an MMO, but with like action RPG gameplay. And the kind of one of the hooks here is that it's like, there's a whole lot of like time manipulation stuff. And so they were showing how like they could have the map here, but then have like the sort of like different layers of past, present, and future. And then I made sure to put this in here too with their character creating, which is pretty nuts, and just like how detailed it is for them.
Getting Black Desert Online vibes.
Yeah, it is a Korean company, and then. Classes can also manipulate space and time as well, and that is coming to PC, PS5, and Xbox. So even though it's an MMO, it's going to be on consoles too.
Sweet.
So Epic got into some business stuff. They're launching a mobile version of the Epic Game Store, and so they're like, oh, we're going to be the first game store that's on Android and iOS and PC and Mac. But more significantly, Fortnite creative stuff. They said Fortnite Creative, there's been 80,000 islands made so far by people. 500 published per day.
My gosh.
And $320 million that they've paid out to creators that have made those islands.
Good grief. It's like as much as some games make in their lifetime. It's like, oh my God.
Yeah, but that's paid out across, again, 80,000 different islands. Yeah. They are,
which is $4,000 a piece. If it was evenly distributed, which it probably wasn't.
But they are having a lot of new updates coming to the Fortnite creative stuff. So they're adding support for a bunch of new camera perspectives. So you'll be able to make top-down games now. You'll be able to make side-scrolling games. One of the big things they have is a first-person camera that they're working on. So there'll be a lot more options there. They're putting in a physics system. The physics system from Lego Fortnite is going to be available for people to use.
Nice.
The metahumans, you know, that Unreal has.
Oh, yeah, those are good.
Yeah, so you'll be able to take those and import into Creative.
Oh, my God.
And then...
it's like Dreams and Roblox and everything put together.
Yeah, and then Lego is
stop.
also putting out a bunch of the stuff from their Lego Islands and stuff that people can use in their own creative things
Nice.
there. So yeah.
Fortnite gonna Fortnite.
Yeah, it's crazy how like all of the, again, 80,000 islands.
Yeah.
Like, that's a lot. It's a lot of essentially games, you know, many versions of games out there. Like
Yeah.
the Alan Wake thing,
Yep.
right?
Yeah.
You know, that just more things to try to sift through. And they talked about that too, with like they're trying to improve discovery and all of that.
I was just gonna say that, Blood. The discovery is a little tough because just the UI and the layout of it all is just kind of like, you know, so you don't really know what's really, really good or just like, you know, poorly produced. It's kind of just luck of the draw. I
Yeah.
feel like I've bounced around a couple of those and some are really fun. Some are not so fun, but they're all definitely like they all have like a uniqueness to them. Like there was a big like scary one where just this giant face kept like coming in. I was like, what is this? So,
but I mean, kind of like Dreams and like the later Little Big Planet games. So these like having these extra perspectives, well, that's just gonna increase like the amount of ideas and variety and stuff that people get in there.
Totally.
So I'm curious when we see like a game that like started as something in Fortnite creative and then
spins off and
then they spin off into, you know, something they can really stand alone on Steam.
Yeah. Can that happen? Is that allowed?
I don't know. I'm curious because you would think that like, you know, with the compatibility with like actual Unreal Engine, that, you know, maybe there would be a way to sort of export stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can do that in Fortnite Creative now, or if that's something that you would have to like talk to Epic and be like, hey, can I pull all my stuff out and do something else with it? But it's really interesting.
Yeah.
We'll move on to some other GDC indie stuff here. First off, Project Tower, which was shown off at the Mix. This is a shooter from a Paris-based team called Yummy Games.
Yummy.
4 people making this game right here.
Crazy.
And it's got some real Returnal vibes.
Getting Outriders vibes.
Which you'll specifically see later when you get to some of the bosses. You've got like all the bullets flying out and everything, just like Returnal.
Isla loves bullet hell.
You also have this crazy morphing stuff here. So I don't know if you can morph into every enemy or just a select group of enemies.
What a cool little critter.
Yeah, but you can become these crazy critters. The one on screen right now is like, it looks like a walking umbrella and he can glide around and stuff.
When it was the thing that he just killed, so maybe once you kill it, you can become it or something?
Yeah, I think maybe there's probably something to that. And then there's like a little sword for your melee attacks, which is nice. There was later on there's a guy that you can morph into who's got like a blue face. It's like almost looks like he has a face hugger that's just like permanently part of his face, but then with like a blue glowing dot in the middle.
Oh, that's so Returnal.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is like
the
very Returnal.
Wow. But the blue guy, he's able to like, it looks like he can like shift dimensions. So,
nice. Dimensional rifts.
So it's like going into like the dark world and like Metroid Prime 2 or something. So it's like you flip over and then like there's these platforms and stuff that you can jump on. And then there's also like a little bug guy that you could turn into and like crawl through tunnels and stuff. So
looks neat.
Yeah. And again, for like
4 people
making
that's wild.
It's looking pretty good.
Yeah.
You have any thoughts, Damiani?
And the transformation stuff looks pretty cool. And yeah, that just looks cool. Yeah.
Next up, Rooster. This is from a Canadian team called Sticky Brain Studios. And it's kind of based on the Chinese zodiac with like visuals that are like Chinese brush illustrations. And I'm curious what this plays like because the description is very interesting because it's like it's a casual puzzle game with 12 mini games that are also tied into an emotional story. So I'm like putting like a cooking mini game and a story together. I'm like, all right, how does that go? And like a lot of the stuff that I see, it's like, you know, okay, you got a rooster, you got a dragon, and like you got these kind of like top-down areas. Like, how does it all fit together? Quote, experience a dating sim, cooking challenges, garden design, tower defense, and more while getting to know a dynamic cast of cute and mischievous characters.
Yeah, I like the look of it.
Yeah, the art style's really nice.
Yeah, really nice art style. And I love a good mini game, especially cooking in games. It's always fun.
Mm-hmm. And now this one here, I don't know if you got to see this or not. Project Birdseye.
No.
This is from Striking Distance.
Oh, I saw this. Yeah. Yes.
So this is the Callisto Protocol devs. This is the Callisto Protocol universe.
I know, that's crazy.
But it's a
I never thought we'd ever get
totally different art style.
There's more Callisto Protocol games than The Order. How did this happen?
This is a top-down shooter with a very comic book art style. Swarms of guys coming in at you, lots of different weapons, little pickups that you know, but big bright colors.
Sign me up, dude.
On the map.
Looks sick.
They say it's a fast action roguelike that challenges players to battle their way through Black Iron Prison's monsters, survivors, and defenses to escape. Of course, players are empowered with their own potent battery of weapons, skills, suits, and upgrades, growing increasingly powerful and skilled with each attempt to make it to the last escape pod. Important to note, this is not a direct follow-up to the Callisto Protocol, even though it's a Black Iron Prison. Think of Project Birdseye as more of a creative side quest cooked up by roguelike loving members at Striking Distance Studios. So basically,
cool.
It's, they're like, no, we're not like abandoning AAA or anything like that. We're just,
Quadruple A, I think you'll find.
yeah. Not abandoning quadruple A or AAA, but they are messing around.
Yeah.
And that's what they're messing around with.
I
And
love
they're like,
that.
hey, putting this out there. What does everybody think? You want to play this?
Yeah, I'm always down for another roguelike. And also, it would be cool if Callisto Protocol got another shot at it. You
Right.
know? So kind of keeping the franchise alive there. I honestly thought that Callisto Protocol was like done. So the fact that we're getting even something in the same universe is wild to me.
Remember when it was part of the PUBG universe?
Yes. I forgot about
Which
it.
now
and
has
I remember.
Bentleys
Yeah.
this week.
Bizarre. But I'm intrigued by that game.
Yeah.
It looks really fun. Especially too because it seems like such a passion project. So it's like, they just love
Yeah.
roguelikes.
Some guys are like waiting for somebody to tell them like, what's the next big game gonna be? It's like, oh, well, we'll start making a roguelike.
Yeah.
You guys want to make a roguelike with me?
Super cool.
Some other stuff that, obviously GDC's got all kinds of talks going on. I didn't take down the details, but there's some good talks on Tears of the Kingdom and Mario.
Did you happen to bring the cool convenience store game, Bloodworth?
Unfortunately, I haven't seen more than the Kit Ellis photo, so I don't have all the details on it.
Got it.
Kombini.
Yep.
But yeah, it's where you're playing as like a clerk in a Japanese convenience store.
They said they love Shenmue,
Nice.
the devs, so
Nice.
let's go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Definitely high on my list.
Yeah, that was at Nintendo's indie event, which I was registered for, but I didn't make it up there this year, unfortunately. Otherwise, I would have
What a slight.
definitely gotten to check that out.
They were like, Blood, you haven't worked here for a minute, so I'm going to leave you off the list this time.
Damiani, did you look at any of the stuff from those panels?
I've not been able to check those out. Sorry.
One of the things that they had was brainstorming stuff from Mario Brothers Wonder. And one clip I saw was like Mario's head just turns into a bunch of bricks, and you have to run through the level without the enemies smashing all of your bricks.
Awesome.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Dude, I want to do that.
Oh,
There's
man.
another one with surfing, like Mario on a
What?
surfboard. I guess a wave just comes across the level or something.
Dude.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Any chance of DLC for Mario Wonder, Damiani? What do you think?
I mean, we said it was Odyssey. We didn't get anything except
Yeah.
for that Luigi stuff, so I don't think so.
it's a bummer.
Probably not.
Hey, Bowser's
Probably not.
Fury, man. You never know.
Yeah. Yeah, I know people have got some write-ups out there now. When I saw the stuff from those panels, it was actually happening live, and people are just clipping shots of slides really quick. So
Yeah.
I definitely want to get back and read through the full descriptions and all of that.
Sweet.
Then last night were the GDC awards. So I'll run through those real quick. The IGF awards were before those. Most of them are games that you probably haven't heard of, but worth checking that out. Venba got the grand prize at IGF though. And then for the GDC awards, best technology went to Zelda. And what was cool there was
Best technology.
yeah.
Went to a Switch game.
Yeah. Again, remember
very
all the
good.
developers freaking out about the stuff that was in that game, sticking all that stuff together.
It's
Poking the bear.
because it's on a Switch.
It's an
Yeah, yeah,
achievement,
yeah.
Huber. It's
I
a
know,
technical achievement.
When you can
Just
make
poking the bear.
when you can make the God Hand or whatever run on a Switch, it's insane.
But what was especially cool with Zelda getting some of these awards was that so many times, when Nintendo gets an award, it's just Doug Bowser or someone from Treehouse or something like that. And
Yeah.
because they were there giving a talk this year, it's oh no, one of the actual devs from the team was there to accept the award and was talking about, it's yeah, this stuff was not easy to do.
Yeah. I
But, we thought that in the end it was worth it for for how fun that it was going to be.
That's cool.
So, Baldur's Gate 3 got Best Design. Venba got Best Debut. Fauzi Mesmar got the Ambassador Award. Alan Wake 2 got Best Visual Art.
Sweet.
Baldur's Gate 3 also got Best Narrative, which is, go back and watch that speech. That was one of the better moments from the whole night, because Sven, the head of Larian, got up there and he was like, "Oh, I've been so focused on my talk, I thought somebody else would come up here and get the award. So I didn't prepare a speech. I hope we're not winning anything else." He like literally said that.
Oh my gosh.
And then, but then he went on a great rant against all the layoffs and everything, and talking about like people being too focused on quarterly reports.
Yeah.
And he talked about, because we've sort of brought this up when we've had the layoff discussions, and he talked about the cycle, right? It's like, oh, you lay all these people off, and then you realize that you need developers to make your games, and then you hire people, and then you just keep doing this stupid cycle, and it's like you lose all this institutional knowledge.
Yeah.
And it's like, there's a better way. Slow down. Build up, some runway or whatever, and and keep your team together, take care of your people.
Yeah.
So,
Well said.
Zelda also won the Innovation Award. Baldur's Gate 3 also won the Audience Award. Venba also won the Social Impact Award.
Sweet.
Then, another one of the best moments, Yoko Shimomura won the Lifetime Achievement Award,
Nice.
introduced by Austin Wintory.
Dude.
So he was up there, gave a great speech
hype.
about her.
My goodness.
And then she just had this amazingly heartfelt speech where she was talking about starting out and just feeling like she had no idea what she was doing, and like she felt like she was just going to quit. She was I'm just going to go and quit the next day.
Wow.
But she kept at it, and she's like, I have to at least ship one game.
Thank goodness.
I have to ship one game. And then after that, she's like, okay, I think I can do one more. And then one more. And then so it was pretty wild. And they played the Street Fighter 2 theme
Nice.
for her coming in and off the
That
stage.
was her first?
No, but it's one of the earlier ones that people really know. Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
I didn't realize she did Parasite Eve. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Hi-Fi Rush got Best Audio. And then Baldur's Gate 3 got Game of the Year.
Goaty.
And again, Sven did not have a speech prepared. But they brought everybody that was at GDC out on stage for that too. So that was nice.
Nice.
And then last little bit from GDC proper, on Wednesday, to vent their frustration at the layoffs and all the other current issues in the industry, a group of developers assembled in the park to just scream for a minute.
I saw that.
GD Scream, they called it.
GD Scream.
Screaming's nice sometimes.
All right. Time for other people to talk. Dragon's Dogma 2.
Fucking goaty, dude.
Hey, dude.
Goaty, dude.
Oh
Huber's
God.
finished. Isla's put a ton of time in.
I've probably got more time in it now than Huber did, but I'm right at the end also. I'm intentionally going slow and
Yeah.
because I don't have to finish and write a review.
I'm still stupidly early, but yeah.
But yeah, I think I'm 60 hours in, and I just discovered a bunch of stuff I missed earlier on. It's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, it's a game where things are very easy to miss. There's a lot of just ups and downs in the terrain and little pockets of things, and
I don't want to overhype anything, but this is one of my favorite games of all time. I'm not even kidding around right now.
I agree.
I love when games don't hold your hand. I also love when games hold your hand, but I prefer when they don't. And this year I've been talking a lot about how I've been against the side quest. How side quests have just become so mundane and there are so many of them in games. I'm thinking of Rebirth. I'm thinking of Like a Dragon, Infinite Wealth. I'm even thinking of Banishers, where you'll do a main quest and they'll just dump okay, here's 15 hours of side quests. Then you'll do another main quest and it's like, all right, here's 8 more side quests to do, and I just like go into autopilot and I get so overwhelmed, and it always messes up the pacing of the game for me. And like, sure, you know, we've talked so much about The Witcher 3, you and I, Blood, about, you know, you're not supposed to do all the check marks, you're not supposed to do everything, it's kind of just there and you do it organically, but it's like, it's really hard as a gamer who wants to see everything the game has to offer and wants to wants to feel all those stories and get all the XP and items and stuff.
Well, even this, it's like I'm like trying to check every house and I'm like trying to like mentally figure out, like, wait, because it's so complex, it's like which house have I looked in and which ones have I not? Have I checked every shop, et cetera, et cetera?
The way this game handles quests and side content is incredible. There are no characters with exclamation points over their heads. You literally just have to talk to people and they might give you a quest.
Yeah.
It's so well done. It makes everything feel more meaningful. It makes the sense of discovery magical. Because when you find a side quest and then you go do it, it feels special. It feels like, oh, like, was I even supposed to find this? Like, oh, I feel so good that I was smart enough to, you know, track this person down, talk to them. That leads to other things.
Yeah, that is like...
It's huge.
One of the really good things about... Which side do I need to be on? That's one of the really good things about this is that it doesn't, like, hold your hand in that way. Like, you have to figure out the steps and employ logic to solve a lot of these quests sometimes, you know?
Yeah.
There are a couple where I'm, like, trying to find this guy some, like, newt liquor or whatever, and, like, I don't know where that is. I don't know how to find that.
Yeah.
I'm still looking. But, like, you know, I'm sure I'll find it. But, like, other quests are, you know, you talk to villagers, you get clues, and you go and follow those clues, and you solve the thing. Like, it's awesome.
Incredible.
Yeah, well...
Being able to... we were so lucky and fortunate that we got multiple codes, because the experience of talking to Isla about this game for the last, like, 5 or 6 days or whatever, where it's just that magical... Elden Ring FromSoft feeling of like, did you find this? No. Like, oh, what happened with this quest? Like, oh, this person killed this person, or this person killed themselves, and it's like, wait, what? Or like,
that's the other thing is like, anybody can die. You can raise your affinity with any NPC pretty much, which I don't know what that'll really lead to. Yeah, bouncing back and forth with Huber as we've been playing this has been magical, and also having no other resource.
Yes.
And then after a while, some people kind of figured maybe I had it and started, like, other reviewers like were asking me things, and I was like, unofficially, you buy this and do that and this and that. You know, it's just like it's just such a cool, like, the zeitgeist when there are no resources, when you can't look anything up. Which I would recommend attempting to play it that way for yourself if you want an unadulterated experience.
It makes it so magical.
Yeah.
I also love, like, I have so much anxiety, like, in The Witcher 3, when, like, a quest fails, it'll be in your log there, like a mark of shame forever. It'll be like, quest failed, and it'll be there. For this, you don't fail any quests. They just end, and they can end in a variety of ways.
Yeah.
So it's really nice. It never...
The timed ones you can fail, right?
Yeah, but it won't be in your...
It won't say failed.
It
just
won't
like
ever
that person will just die.
Yeah, it won't ever say failed. Like, this game never feels like a checklist. The way everything just is given to you organically, and the way the side quests factor in... you
make your own checklist.
Exactly.
Like you say, like, you in a way this game is a gigantic checklist because you have so many desires that you want to do.
Yeah.
You know, you're juggling, like, okay, I'm in this area, so I should do these 3 quests right now, but that one will take me over there, so I can upgrade my weapon with that guy over there while I'm there because I have the thing for that. You know, and, like, you're constantly thinking like that because it's very old school in a lot of ways. It doesn't have, like, I have fast traveled fewer than 10 times probably in my 60 hours of playing this game. I have, I think right now, 12 fairy stones. You know, so that means I've had like 20 maybe the whole game.
Right.
And, like, that's bananas. And, like, you have to place port crystals in a certain, like other places, like 3 places I've found have port crystals already, or 2, I think. And, you know, you have to place that, and that's the thing you can fast travel to.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like you have to get there and have an item that weighs a whole bunch of weight, by the way, to be able to fast travel back there again. Like, the game doesn't want you to do that. It wants you to live in it. They say that, like, specifically, like, this is about living in this world and experiencing the magic and
my pawn keeps yelling at me about
that.
picking things up. I'm trying to figure out that balance.
Everything feels
they'll always be like, you're like to get overburdened if you pick up everything you see.
Everything feels so earned, and it makes the entire game matter more. This is one of the best video game economies I've ever experienced.
Holy crap, yeah.
I never have enough money for anything.
Yeah.
Finding money is huge. Finding items is huge. Every time you find something, it matters. Everything in this game matters because you have to work a little bit for it. Like, when you are setting out on an adventure, because fast travel is so expensive and rare, you feel like freaking Fellowship of the Ring going out on a journey. Like, when you're out there, it gets so dangerous.
Yeah.
You don't want to overextend, but also it's like, well, I'm all the way out here. Like, what if I just go a little more to explore this area? I might find something, but also I'm losing health. Everyone is fatigued. Like, we got to get back to town.
Yeah, no, I had that experience last night because, because I'm still super early. Like, I just got to the main big town with Brant and all of that. But I had one where it's like, okay, go out to this goblin cave, right? Simple stuff, but it's one that you need to unlock the extra vocations. You know, It's like you need to go get these weapons from the goblin cave. And I got out there, and then I was, going through the goblin cave, and I came out the other side, and it's like, oh, it's night now.
Yeah.
And I'm like, crap.
Yeah, night is so intense.
Because you cannot see anything.
Yep.
And then there's crazy monsters just like outside of your cone of vision half the time. And you need a campsite to be able to camp.
You need a campsite, and you need camping gear, which is very heavy.
Yeah,
and
your main
encumbrance in
pawn
this
will just
game is
carry
real.
that. Oh, encumbrance is so real.
Yeah.
So I got through, I got a little ways down the road because like, okay, I can go this way. This will get me back there. But then there's like a freaking Minotaur guarding the road.
Yeah.
And I fought him a couple of times, but then my health started, because basically you have this, it's called the loss gauge.
Yep.
So your max health goes down.
Yeah.
And so do your pawns. So after a while, like if you fail on a fight, like you just got to get out of there. You got to go do something else. And so basically just had to go back to the cave, backtrack to the cave because it was essentially safe now. And then by the time I got out the other side, it was daylight again. I was able to get back to town. So
for how I just think it's such a nice balance between something like Elden Ring or Dark Souls, but then also on the other end, like a Ghost of Tsushima or an Assassin's Creed. I feel like this game really straddles the line. It's its own. It has its own identity, of course, and does its own thing, but for as hardcore as some of the quests are in terms of like, what am I doing? Like, fast travel is really difficult. For as hardcore it is, it's also like chill in some regards. Like, a lot of the trash mobs are like easy to get through. Like, if you die, the penalty isn't super stiff. The main quests will always be like, yo, it's this way. Like, you're never really lost
it's a weird game like that because, I haven't died like maybe ever, like at all, except for if I like fell and just chose not to use a wake stone because I was like, it'll just be easier to just not waste it. There's an item for reviving yourself, that are not, they're finite,
Well, and you need to collect 3 smaller items to make the main item.
Yeah. Like if you go into an area, it's very, very easy to get overwhelmed. If you're like out of your depth, it's easy to get out of your depth, but it's also easy to like read the tea leaves on that and be like, okay, I should not be here, and like get back out of there.
Yeah.
And like
like with that Minotaur I was fighting.
Yeah, and it's like it's such an interesting game because it is really hardcore and daunting and complicated, and yet so cozy and friendly, and
Yeah.
like you feel like you're living in this world, and like
I think
I love it so much.
Yeah.
I think the UI and all that stuff is also really strong. I've been big on UIs lately. We'll get into it. That's one of the reasons I never connect with Team Ninja games, because their UI is like an encyclopedia and just like numbers.
That's very true.
Everything's just insane. I feel
This
like
never
Dragon's Dogma
feels like
2.
you're reading like huge entries. Yeah.
Yeah, Dragon's Dogma 2 is very streamlined, very easy to understand, like weight limits and, you know, your skills and all of that. It's just very nice and straightforward.
It's such a that brings up a point, yeah, that I hadn't really thought about, where it's like it's such an interesting game because it, like, for a game that'll make you walk the same stretch of road 8 times, you know, and it takes 20 minutes every time, you know, it actually respects your time
It
quite
really
a lot
does.
because it doesn't pad things out with unnecessary like gameplay fluff.
Mm-hmm.
Everything just is what it is. And also, like, it unlike most games that have classes, you know, like Elden Ring you brought up, right? Elden Ring classes, by and large, are FromSoft games, you know, they feel like variations on a theme, right? It's like, okay, your sword is slower or faster, or it's two-handed, and like magic feels different, but like you still feel like the same kind of person doing these things. The vocations in this feel pretty wildly
They're
different. Some of
so
them
fun.
Some of them change the way you play fundamentally.
Yes.
And I wouldn't have said it, but they put it in their marketing, you know, and we've talked about it in previews. But there's a class called the Trickster,
Yeah.
which is so weird. You can't do damage. You just like throw smoke around and make like illusory walls and shit, and it's so hard and weird, and it's about party comp and like bolstering your pawns and stuff. It's so wild to play not even really a support class to your NPC party. The pawns are so sweet. by the
Yeah,
way.
well, and I think that's one of the things because I didn't really play that much of the first Dragon's Dogma. I'd only like streamed it for a couple of hours, and so I didn't really get into the pawn system. Whereas like in this, the second one, like it's right there in your face right away.
Yeah.
And so yeah, just trying to like figure out that whole aspect of like, I'm not just playing as myself, I'm playing as this party. And like I had immediately just like rented you guys as pawns
Hell
because
yeah.
I saw them in there, and I'm like, oh yeah, like that'll be fun just to like see your pawns.
Yeah.
But they're like level 40s, and so like I would just like walk up to a group of goblins and like flames and giant ice.
Was it free to
waves and-
hire, or did you need?
They were free to
crystals?
hire.
Cause
yeah,
we're friends
don't
or
hire
'Cause
your
we're friends, I guess.
pawns if they're
God.
way over leveled, because they will just tank everything for you.
Yeah, everything. Yeah, usually if they're above your level, they cost these
Yeah,
rift crystals,
yeah.
which I don't even really know how you get yet.
You just get them by doing stuff.
By doing stuff, okay.
Yeah, finding rift crystals.
But
and
usually, if they're higher than you, you have to spend
Yeah.
to recruit them. But with your friends, I guess you don't have to do that. And so they were just like laying waste
Hell yeah.
to everyone. And
Get
then
'em.
Huber, your guy Smokey,
Yeah,
he
Smokey's
was
my old
he was
cat.
doing the whole like. As soon as I would get a quest, he's like, "I know where it is. I know." And he just
Follow
like
me,
just
follow me.
runs.
I've done this.
And I'm
yeah,
like,
because we've done every quest.
okay. And so I follow him, and then and then we're on the way, and then Isla's pawn is like, hey, I remember there's a treasure chest over here. It's like, oh, okay, but Smokey's like down the road now, so I guess we'll come back for that.
I just want to highlight combat specifically. It is so fun the entire time. Leveling up all the vocations is extremely addicting. You have your main character level. You're always earning XP for your character, but then your vocations, which are your jobs, basically, you can rank those up to 9. Some buffs from them carry over to other vocations. You'll unlock some augments.
Yeah.
It'll be like more defense, more attack, whatever. You can then use those
Yeah.
on any class. So
And so people were asking in chat, because like, yeah, this game is unique in games like this. Is you don't pick a class in the beginning of the game and then stick with it forever. Like switching around is actually encouraged literally in game. They're like, there's no big deal, just switch whenever you want. Like the vocation people will tell you that in game.
Yeah, well, I think
and it's
the fact that you unlock new ones so quickly,
Really quickly, yeah.
I think is a big part of communicating that.
Yeah, and like the augment system is really good, and like so you'll dip into Archer for 4 or 5 levels to get the stamina augment because it'll help all your other classes because your stamina will come back way
But then
faster.
also Mage level 10 or 9 or whatever has more stamina regen.
Yeah.
And it's like, dude, I'm always running out of stamina. I need that.
Yeah. And
But then
like,
also if you're a mage, it's like, yo, I'm dying really fast. Like, let me get that warrior defense or health. Like,
yeah.
so smart.
And so like jumping around is really encouraged
It
and
really is.
it's rewarded, and you get really cool stuff, and you get to experience these really wild and different ways to play this game.
They're
And
so fun and different. The
they're
fighter,
so different.
The warrior has like a giant. It's what I did in Darkest Dungeon 1. It has the giant hammer or sword. You attack so slow, but it starts to do a lot of damage, and it excels at like knocking big enemies over. Then like mage, you die a little quicker, but also the AoE spells can just like disintegrate.
Yeah.
The wolves and goblins.
Seeing like the tornado attacks in particular, pretty nuts.
Yeah.
But then I also like
combat is so fun in this game, like clinging to a giant beast
it's
and just stabbing them down is my favorite thing to do this year in games.
and it's
easily.
And it's what's crazy is there are a few classes that can grapple on to the things, and even that feels different per class, right? Like my favorite, so I've got Thief, Mystic Spearhand, Magic Archer, and Trickster all maxed out, and I'm gonna try to max out all of them, but like Thief is really quick. You scrabble up guys. One of the augments is like lose way less stamina when you're climbing on an enemy, and
I need that. Yeah.
and you get one of the higher level Thief abilities is called Gut and Run. And if you're on a weak spot, you just stab the weak spot and jump off and pull it off.
Dope.
And it'll do like 3 health bars a day. It's like insane.
Yeah.
It's like a nuke.
But then the warrior has my favorite one. It's like the gouging skewer or something.
Yeah.
Where you legit just keep stabbing the beast. It is so fun. It's so addicting.
And
you can even do it on smaller enemies. You'll jump on them and they're on the ground and you're just going, gah, 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 gah. It's insane.
And then conversely, Magic Archer and Archer, you're obviously a ranged class, so you're like staying way out. But Magic Archer is really cool because you're changing your elemental things to try to take advantage of different monsters' weak points and weaknesses and stuff like that. And it's just every class plays so differently. It's really, really
They're all
interesting.
so fun, and they all use different gear, which makes,
Yeah.
again, everything in this game better, because it's like, oh, I'm going to switch to mage, but my gear is shit. Oh, guess what? I don't have any money. I got to go explore more. Like, leveling up, not only leveling up the classes, but gearing up the classes takes considerable resources. So,
And like getting to party comps. So like in the game, if you've never played Dragon's Dogma before, because it's weird. It's a single player game. The only multiplayer element is that you, as a player, create a pawn, which is like your main pawn, which is your kind of like number 2, your Riker, your second in command, and they're like mystical beings. They're not strictly human. They're like whatever. There's story stuff about it, but you design your main pawn, and then your party consists of your main pawn, and then you can hire 2 other pawns made by other people. And so you get to completely customize and outfit and pick the vocation and gear and everything for yourself and your main pawn, right? So you get total control over both of you. And then you can change the gear on most other pawns, but you don't get to pick their vocation and stuff. Instead, you pick them by their vocation, basically, in the Rift. And so you can formulate your party composition out of the 6 or whatever classes that pawns can have. And it's really, really fun and really important to kind of like pick classes that complement yourself. So if you're far away, you want to pick pawns that go close up to keep them off of you, and vice versa. And if nobody's a healer, hire a mage so that they can heal. It's so much fun.
Yeah, one of the things that was kind of interesting with those dynamics too is I came across like the the rift stones that you get in the wild.
Yeah,
And,
which come super important if your pawn, for example, just kind of yeets herself into the water and dies for no reason.
Yeah.
You're just like, why did you do that, Belfrea?
Yeah, she did that on mine too. But I was close enough to town where I just hired her again. But there's when you do those ones in the wild, they'll give you basically like a freebie for a high level. The one, so this guy will pop up and you can hire them without using rift crystals. And then, since you guys' pawns were annihilating everyone for, I just came. Another thing is what's nice is you just have random pawns wandering in the wilderness, and so there's this pawn walked up to me. It looked like a female Geralt.
Nice.
And it's like, okay, I'll hire you and tell Smokey to take a hike.
Yep. See you later, Smokey.
But what's the other part about that, the kind of loop, and the reason you want to do that is that when your pawn goes out to other people's worlds, like you have these quests that you can assign and rewards that you can give to people. And so like one of the basic ones is there's like, okay, use this pawn for like a full day and night.
Yeah.
And then you'll get the reward.
Yeah.
But there are badges and stuff like that too. So
you
like,
don't need no stinking badges.
if your pawn kills a Cyclops, they'll get a Cyclops badge.
Yeah.
And so you can set that as a quest for people. And so when your pawn, then I think it's like when you
I put a bounty on Cyclops. It's like, if you kill a Cyclops, I pay you like 3,000 gold.
Yeah.
Yeah, but to get that badge, your pawn has to kill 30 of them. So it's like...
Yeah, it's crazy.
I mean, which I think is balanced for when this game is actually out and not just like, a few hundred people are playing it, but like thousands and hopefully millions are playing it. Because like, I was like, 30 Cyclops is like... I've probably killed like 15 right now,
Yeah.
This game is so... I don't want to overhype it.
We're very excited to hear what you think of it.
I'm very excited to hear what everyone thinks.
I mean, I'm digging it so far. And like I said, I barely touched the first one.
It's
so
just
it's all new to
constantly
me.
it's constantly surprising.
Yeah.
There's no filler. There is no not one time in this game ever did I not want to do something or what I was bored or like, oh, I got to do this now real quick, Like
it feels I was thinking about this. I was thinking about this the other day while I was driving and not playing Dragon's Dogma 2, which was tearing out my soul. And it feels like the fantasy you have as a little kid when you watched Robin Hood Prince of Thieves like 6 times over a weekend and you were pretending to be in the medieval times, right? And you were like running around outside with a stick or whatever and pretending to be, in the medieval times. And like this game makes you live that, like lets you live that, and it feels so good. And the pawns, they keep you company, dude. They're
very endearing.
They feel like your family. They're very endearing.
Like when you take someone out and they're cheering for you,
you high five each other.
It's so jolly.
They'll say really funny stuff like materials, eh? Well, Shant and I, they have their uses, and I'm just like, yeah, that's true. I love this game.
It's incredible.
Yeah, I really like some of the...
You do not need to have played the first one.
You
by
do
the way.
not need to play. I'm a psychopath when it comes to playing things in the order that they were released. And I promise you do not need to play Dragon's Dogma 1 at all.
Let me put it to you this way. The icon on the PlayStation 5 dashboard or whatever says Dragon's Dogma 2. Nowhere inside the game does it say Dragon's Dogma 2. It just says Dragon's Dogma. Inside the game, inside itself, this is just called Dragon's Dogma. It's a requel. It's a reboot. It's not. Yeah. Like if you've played the first one, you will obviously have some. You'll have a jump start on understanding how the hell to do this weird ass game. But beyond that, and like basic story, like general gist, no, you don't need to have played it.
Not at all. Dive in, jump in, head first.
Yeah, some of those other things that I like is just the crazy physics stuff. Like here, like when you like undam the river, or like there's like sometimes you'll get boulders that you just like roll downhill onto guys, or rocks that you can throw at guys. And I think it was Mitch was posting clips of like throwing his pawns across ledges
So
to
good.
open up treasure
Yeah, you
chests.
can do that. Yeah.
Throwing them into water and stuff.
Well, and like different vocations have different abilities that you can use in creative ways out in the world to just like get up and get a chest or like knock a ladder down for yourself and stuff like that. Like sorcerers can levitate. Like that's helpful, you know? Like
Yeah, I
it's
saw
crazy.
that on my
Like just
phone.
comparing it to like, you know, The Witcher 3 or something, it's like the combat in this is like infinitely superior to something like The Witcher 3.
Preach.
But the only thing where I'm like, okay, it's not as good as like other games would be like the main storyline. And I'm not saying it's bad or anything. It's just like, it's fine. You know, there's some good characters and like the side quests have like really like a lot of freedom and they play out, you know, well. And I found myself getting invested in the storylines of a lot of those side quests, but it's very like, you know, political.
Right.
There's like two nations that have differing viewpoints. There's a dragon that you must kill for as your destiny. Like very like normal fantasy. Like,
But what I appreciate about the way that it tells the story is that it the way it unfolds, it feels kind of very natural.
Totally.
Like it's like you don't get information about a different place. I'm gonna hide the B-roll because it's got maps going on. You don't get information about a place that you're not in unless someone, you know, has knowledge about that place. And like when you're in the main city, for the more human side of things, you know, they'll be talking about that political family, that royal family. And if you're in Batal, where the Beastren are mostly living, like they'll be talking about their empress and stuff like that. And it's just like you get it as it would come to you if you were in this world.
Very
and
good
it
point.
feels very natural to me. And like the story internally has holes in it if you dig deep enough that are intentional. Like it questions itself in really interesting ways.
yeah, but just like the presentation as well, you know, I think of like the Witcher cutscenes or Final Fantasy Rebirth cutscenes.
It's much less
how
story
immaculate
focused
they are.
than those.
Whereas like, you know, you're not getting that here, but again, that's like not the main focus.
Yeah,
right?
I would say that that's a strength for me. Like,
I know you do. I know you would.
Like to me, it's like the story. You know, stories in games like this don't get in the way. Like I
Totally.
love them to set things up and to feel the vibe, but at the same time, it's like let me control the pace of the story, which this game kind of does, which is really
100%,
nice.
yeah.
It's sort of like a better. Like, I know a lot of people complain about Breath of the Wild about the story being kind of fragmented like that, and this feels like a more successful application of that kind of more like locationally based kind of storytelling, if that makes any sense.
Well, I mean, the thing that it kind of, to me, is the comparison is like Elder Scrolls. Because like one of the things that one of the characters I came across in the first village where the dragon was, Melv, like there's like this girl there that wanted some medicine or whatever, right? And there's a couple of different ways that you can give her medicine, but then you see her back in the capital and her dad's there and he's like, oh yeah, thanks for helping her out, you know, and gives you a discount at the shop.
Totally.
You know, and that kind of thing where, you know, all of these different seemingly pointless quote unquote NPCs actually have names and have places
100%.
that they're going to go and travel and all of that kind of thing. And like some guy, I was fighting some harpies.
Nothing ever
and
reached
some
the
guy I
heights
didn't
of
even
the Bloody
see like
Baron,
fell
but
off
I
of
know
a
what you mean.
tower, you know, and it's like, oh, you can resurrect him with the wake stone. I'm like, I don't have a wake stone. It's like, well, you could find him in the morgue eventually. And like, I don't know where the morgue is.
Yeah.
So I hope that guy is never important.
Yeah.
Random dude just died.
Funny. Very special game. I want Damiani to play it.
Yeah, I need to find time, but I want to get into it at some point.
yeah.
For sure.
Definitely not a game that you're gonna want to rush through.
Yeah.
Like if you don't like immersing yourself in a world and walking places, you know, I would say that this is a more interactive Death Stranding as far as like amount of walking.
A little bit, yeah.
Like if that's not for you, this might not be for you. I would say though that Dragon's Dogma is weird as hell
in such a good way.
In the best ways, but like if you didn't play the first one, which again you do not have to have done to play this, but if you don't have any experience with this and don't know what the hell is going on, don't bail right away.
Do not bail.
Don't bail right away. Like give yourself some time to get into it. Maybe try
I'm
a
still
different
trying to figure out the
vocation.
combat because I'm used to, lock-ons and that kind of
there's
thing.
no
And so like having to
lock-on.
move the camera around constantly is a little like, okay.
It'll
get
be
used to this.
Reason for no
disorienting.
lock-on? Why? What is their justification?
It
It didn't bother me whatsoever, but I
no,
wonder.
it doesn't bother you once you accept it.
It doesn't bother me at all, but I wonder what their.
I
why.
think, this is what I like about this combat system is that it feels very, like, free flowing, like especially as like the thief, where you're fast and you're zipping around between different enemies, or as the magic archer, where you're kind of sweeping the screen to find where the bad guys are and then locking onto weak points. Like it feels very balletic. It's like dancing. I don't know. Once you get used to it and get good at it, it feels very. There's a flow to it that I really appreciate. That I think maybe locking on would kind of disrupt. I don't know. But yeah, like I've talked to another person who's reviewing this, and they were like, "Yeah, I really didn't like the mage at first. I think they started with, but then they said they love it now.
So fun.
But they just didn't understand that like." Casting a spell takes time. Like you have to stand there and not get hit for a second to incant your spell. Like this game, it has a stamina system, but like sometimes you pay for skills in like not getting hit for 4 seconds, and like that takes getting used to. So I would just say like experiment, try different classes if you're not liking it at first.
You at least have to climb on a cyclops and stab it in the throat.
Stab it in the eye.
to,
Its weak
yeah.
spot is its eye. But
please.
and like it's one of those games that rewards your curiosity very, very well.
God,
and like
dude.
your dedication. And like if you
I haven't felt
you're
this rewarded
curious,
since
it'll
Breath
reward
of the
you.
Wild.
Yeah, it is akin to Breath of the Wild, I would say, in that like you can be curious and look at a thing and just be like, oh, that looks weird, and then go there, and then that'll lead you to like 4 hours of insanity.
Yeah.
And
I can't overstate, Isla, how much the exploration is the best.
I was playing
with
earlier
combat
today.
too. Combat, exploration, economy, like every freaking thing. The quests are really fun.
I was playing it today, and I'm like end game 60 hours into it, whatever, and like I discovered 3 things I never even knew were in this game. And I'm just like, what? Like 3 huge things.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, okay. Like, yeah, this game is bananas. We've been talking about it for like a straight hour, but I love it so much.
Forever.
I could talk about it for another 4 hours.
Same.
So,
Goaty.
Yeah.
like for real. Like it's what, like not like Dragon's Dogma 1 is one of my favorite games. It's in my top 10 for sure. And this one is better than that one. Like
100%.
it's better than Dragon's Dogma. Like it is Dragon's Dogma 1 perfected. Like playing it on PS5, the frame rate for me didn't really like dip. It just got a little like weird in like the bigger towns.
Yeah, definitely.
But,
I saw some dips in town, but I also saw
like,
parts where like
that
it
was,
went
like,
higher frame rate too.
Yeah.
Right. And like nothing has and I'm not, the most like it doesn't piss me off if something has like a little bit of dipping, but like nothing has bothered me performance wise. I've not seen any real bugs. I've not seen any problems like that. Like
It's so weird because the quality mode on Rebirth, like, legit gave me a headache.
oh yeah, I couldn't play it for
Like
more than 2 seconds.
Yeah, I was just like, I wanted to like throw up, so I had to do performance mode. But this game is like targeting 30. It's uncapped, they said, and it goes below 20 or below 30 and above 30 sometimes.
It never bothered me.
Great. It
That's
looked
funny that
really
you're saying
good. Like
about-
my eyes were pleased. Like it looked good. It didn't
It's
make
a
me
beautiful.
ill.
That's funny what you're saying about
baby.
Rebirth, because Rebirth's when I haven't quite figured out which mode I want to be on
Dude.
yet, because the performance is like the blur on his face. I'm like, this, I can't. This is
Dude, when I put
The
it
quality mode gave me a legit headache.
Same, dude. When
Yeah.
I put Rebirth into quality mode for maybe 12 seconds. And
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I can't.
The camera just like.
I just went back and
Yeah.
forth and I'm like, I can't deal with this right now. So
Yeah.
like, I had to do
There's-
something else.
There's a patch out, I think, today or yesterday, though,
Okay.
Oh, okay.
that is messing with the graphics and performance. So
For Rebirth,
Yeah.
there's no choice in
Yeah.
Dragon's Dogma 2.
Right.
It's just like this is how the game is. And like it's funny because Dragon's Dogma 1 has, people always lovingly say that it's a janky. This one I would say that it's not janky. It's charming and it's weird, and like intentional design decisions are unlike many other games you've ever played. But like they're all things that make it special.
It is so special.
Next up, this is going to be a little rough because this just happened today before the podcast. I paused in the middle to edit Huber's Dragon's Dogma script.
Review coming soon.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm gonna cut it like, I don't know, tomorrow or Saturday. I got a bunch of crap going on tomorrow.
but future game show. Remember, this started as kind of like a E3 replacement or whatever, and then now it's like it's multiple times a year. Now they got
Yeah.
a spring future games show
Crazy.
for GDC essentially, but that happened today, and it was Ben Starr and Samantha Barrett
Nice.
who were hosting, because that's one of the things that they've done. They've brought in a bunch of different voice actors to host these in the past. This time they actually were on a stage though, so they got away from the whole Zoom look.
Yeah.
They were on a stage, but they had some weird energy. I'm just gonna say that.
Better, good weird, or like Dragon's Dogma good weird?
It was like they were
or-
trying to play some bits, but it would like wasn't really landing for me, because it was like Ben was being all joking, and then Samantha would just be like,
the straight face.
not just a straight face, but like just actively aggravated at him. It was like,
They needed Bossman to write that script.
I don't know. It was just a weird vibe. It was a weird vibe. Another thing that was kind of weird to me too is that, and I feel like something like this happened on like the last PC game show too. They had like what they called a ones to watch yearbook,
Yeah.
and I'm like, okay, cool. There's gonna be some indie game, some under the radar game to keep an eye out for.
Yeah.
First one is like Hellblade 2.
Hellblade 2 ones to watch.
Second one was like Star Wars Outlaws.
Star Wars.
And neither one of these did they have anything new to say, new to show.
Yeah.
It was just, they were just like, here's a preview of this
That's
game.
bizarre.
Remember this game exists? And like, okay.
That's weird.
Yeah.
Was it like picked by the audience or something?
I don't think so, but it was just, again, a little bit of weird vibes in terms of the show itself. But they had a lot of stuff in there. I wouldn't say there's anything like huge, but there's a lot of interesting stuff that is worth watching out for. Most of the stuff that I've picked is ones to watch, I would think. And you may know of some of these, you may not. First up, Zoocosis.
Great name.
Have you heard of this?
Negative.
Okay. This is some freak show business here. You're playing
Whoa.
as a zookeeper.
What
Exactly. And the animals in the zoo are infected by something.
Whoa, I don't like
Free-
this fisheye.
Full-on
look. What it just gave me a
bioweapon
headache.
thing going on here. So there's giraffes that are crawling up walls and have like crazy spider arms coming out of them. There's zebras. There's little freakazoids running around. And I'm not even entirely sure what the full point of the game is. Yeah, now we're looking at black
No.
lights on the zebras.
I'm 100% cool stabbing humans in the throat in video games, but once you start harming any animals, I'm out. Straight up, I'm out. I love animals more than humans.
It seems like they got thinged, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the thing is like the creature design in this is just so wild. Yeah. It's like Dead Space giraffes.
Totally.
Yeah.
Thing for sure.
I didn't put the trailer in there, but because I always I've seen enough of this game. I don't need to talk about it, or I don't need to see more of it. Is Harold Halibut, the stop motion?
It looks incredible.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, April 16th,
Oh my goodness.
less than a month
Oh,
away.
wow.
Yep, got a
up.
date. It's been in the works
Nice.
for years and years and years.
Jeez.
Next one to show, Inotria, The Last Song. This is like Souls-like, but the aesthetic is really different. It's kind of like, I don't know, like Roman or Italian kind of thing. The one thing you gotta watch this like outside of this podcast though, because like there is like the vocals are just going off like crazy.
Nice.
Like Dune style or what?
God of War style?
Yeah, it's
Old
just
God of War?
it's just like really fast. Like sounds sort of like Italian. Maybe I could be wrong on that, but yeah. But this is coming out not too far off. This is August 21st.
Nice. Always got my eye on Souls-likes, you know?
Yeah.
I like this setting too. Little Titan Quest vibes, dude. Let's
Yeah.
go.
Yeah, for sure.
Sweet.
And then yeah, it's like a Colossus looking dude there.
Throwing rocks.
Throwing rocks.
Yeah.
Do that in Dragon's Dogma, dude. Pick up a rock, throw it.
Hell yeah.
This one's okay. Start playing this. Tenebris Somnia.
Yo, should I just write the GOTY entry for Dragon's Dogma 2 right now?
No.
Not if I beat you to it.
Oh.
So this is, I think, like Isla and Don both.
Yeah, this looks great. I wonder if it's a reference to Tenebrae. Well, never mind.
I'm not sure, but so it's a mix. So it's a horror game, but it goes back and
right,
forth
this
between like what looks like a point and click adventure and then these full like FMV film
Live action is
cutscenes.
in, dude. Thanks, Sam Lake.
They had a shot of faith in there because they're talking about inspirations, but like the 2D parts legit. There's scenes in there that legit look like something out of Maniac Mansion.
Dude, this is so cool.
And then, but they're talking about, it's like, well, you can't, you know, and her character, the pixel art, like you can't really see her face. But then we cut to the actress.
That is
you know, and see
horrifying.
their face, yeah.
Whoa!
And then, yeah, same thing with like a lot of the scenes that are like in the game, the backgrounds and the monsters and stuff. Then they've replicated
So sweet.
in live action and filming it.
That's such a fucking cool idea.
Yeah, it's incredible.
I'm gonna do that. Also.
This is some gnarly imagery.
Yeah, it's pretty nuts. Tenebris Somnia. Huber, I didn't grab the trailer because again, it is looking better though. Dustborn, remember Dustborn? You previewed
Of course.
August 20th.
Nice.
Bond with your crew.
Yeah, I'm very excited about that. Please be good.
Mm-hmm.
I got my eye on it. When they compared it to Life is Strange and Streets of Rage, I was like, are you pandering to me?
Yeah.
Or
It's
that's
like a
literally
tape
what
that
the
showed
dev
up
said.
outside your house. Like,
Hmm?
it's like it was a tape that showed they put it outside your house.
Oh, yeah.
Right. Sandland got a new trailer for the Forest Land.
Cool.
So before we've only seen this, they've always, Sandland, obviously you think the desert.
Yeah.
But it's like kind of like Naruto or something. It's like, no, that's not the only place.
Totally.
And so we get a totally different environment, totally different vibe. Just seeing the trailer has a totally different vibe now because of Toriyama just passing away.
Yeah, totally.
And so like this is maybe like one of the first big things to come out after that.
Yep.
So yeah, I'm curious. I know some people were kind of disappointed with the demo. It's a playable demo that had just come out the past week or two.
Mm-hmm.
But with this, you're seeing a lot more of the world. So I'm really curious, like how this game's going to evolve.
Yeah, me too. I'm curious.
Some cool looking characters. Some really cool like
The vehicular combat.
the vehicle stuff looks great.
Vehicular combat, Mad Max style.
There's another one for Isla and Dawn.
Woo!
Blockbuster Incorporated.
No.
Blockbuster Incorporated.
Wait, are you
done?
serious?
Yeah, so you.
Oh, what the hell? That's
Is this room?
that's the room.
Yeah.
So basically, this is like a film studio sim.
Film Studio Sim, Sophia.
No way.
That's Barbie.
Yeah, I think
It's like the movies.
they're alluding to
I
it.
remember
Yeah, it's
I
exactly
have
like
the movies. Yeah, that
yeah.
sounds good.
Sweetie, we were just talking about this.
Nice.
So,
Yo,
yeah,
this looks sick.
She was just showing me the movies the other day.
Dude,
Dude,
this looks awesome.
I'm in.
Yep.
I'm in, dude. They're gonna get sued by Blockbuster Video. Oh wait. Is it made by the The
That I don't know. Let me look
hospital
it up.
peeps?
See if I got what I got on.
The graphic style seems close but different.
I definitely know that it's an inspiration, but I don't know if it is. It does say the movie's spiritual successor on the email.
The movie's spiritual
Nice.
successor, sweet.
That's badass.
Let's see. Find the right people for every position. Keep your finger on the pulse of the industry.
Finger on the pulse.
I'm just not sure if it's like actually the people or if it's just they love it, you know?
Yeah. Universe Pictures.
Is that the boys?
Super Sly Fox.
Yeah,
Well,
I'm not sure just skimming over it to tell you 100% whether or not anyone worked on the movies, but it's going for that. And it's out on June 6th. So, early summer. Summer blockbuster.
Hyped.
Nice.
Next up is Outpost Infinity Siege. And Huber, I know you like your tower defense.
I do.
So this is a mix of like tower defense and FPS. And so like, yeah, you kind of set up your bases, but then you also like go like directly into the fight. Let me see if I can find some more details.
Video games look good.
Yeah, right?
Goodness.
Oh, that's from like a while back. But yeah.
This looks hardcore as shit.
Yeah, big towers. Big towers. Lots of crazy stuff flying out of the sky.
Jeez.
That outfit, dude.
Good old
Helldivers is on the
minigun.
mind for sure. You know?
What?
Helldivers thinking about it a little bit here.
Oh yeah, this is out next week.
Next
Oh.
week?
This is out next week.
Grief.
That girl's outfit broke the terms of service of Twitch.
What's that?
She had underboob in her outfit. That breaks the terms of service of Twitch.
Yeah. But it's wild to see like just the number of things that are on the like the top down
Holy
view and then
shit.
you get into the fray of it.
Yeah.
It's kind of a cool idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where's my list?
Whoa, were they in space right there?
Space. I think they were.
Space!
The space patrol.
Farewell North.
This is Huber bait.
Yeah.
Girl and her dog.
Girl and her dog.
Let's go.
And not only is it girl and her dog, Huber, but I think that you might only control the dog. I need to
Oh my
look up a
God.
description on this because every time I saw the gameplay, it was the dog running around. And so like there's parts where it's like black and white and like everything's frozen in time.
Oh, 'cause dogs. See in black and white.
Maybe, but it's like inverted too,
Oh, it
color
looks
wise.
sad as shit, Huber. You're so stoked.
Yeah, this game is going to be so sad. This game looks like maximum sadness.
Yeah, bringing flowers to your girl. Let's see, solo developer
Oh, shit.
Wow.
Kyle Banks.
Kyle, good work. Look at this.
Well, sheep herding.
Open world exploration adventure in which you play as a border collie on a journey with his
they're
owner.
Playing as the girl right there. Look.
Yeah, there was one shot there.
Yeah.
Through the Scottish Highlands, exploring by foot and canoe, Chelsea is doing his best to bring color back into his owner's life as a story about loss and mental health is slowly unveiled, and his beloved owner has a chance to heal.
Jeez.
Just the premise is giving me goosebumps.
Yeah.
Like I'm already crying.
Yeah.
Explore at your own pace while solving light puzzles and remembering the events of the past that led your human into falling into depression.
Fuck.
August 15th.
August 15th.
Review calendar is filling up, or release calendar. I mean.
Here's your funny play on words here. Blueprints. Blue and then prince like royalty, but then you also use blueprints
Blue.
in the
Oh.
game.
That's funny.
I'm ashamed to admit I didn't reading it. I didn't proc it right away.
Same.
Yeah. I am not entirely sure what's going on in this. There's like a comic book art style, and then like there's like a focus on architecture, and you have like these different rooms that you can select between to kind of advance. So like here they're showing a terrace, a chapel, and a pantry, and they look like a picture off of Clue or something. and then you pick one and you go through the door.
Fellas in the
And
foyer.
has, puzzles and stuff in each one. There's a garage. There's like an observatory. All kinds of different little things going on here.
This seems kind of cool, actually.
Yeah.
It's got a very cozy look.
First person puzzle game. What else do they got here? It's coming from Raw Fury. Every door can reveal new and exciting chambers that contain their own unique challenges and secrets, as well as offering or taking resources. But choose carefully for each day. The manor's floor plan resets, and the rooms you saw today may not be the same rooms you see tomorrow. Each day is shaped by the rooms you select to draft and the tools you find within them. Investigate the past woven with the threads of blackmail, political intrigue, and the mysterious disappearance of a local children's book author. Okay. Blue Prince. And then what else have I got? This last one I'm curious about Huber seeing. Because I don't know if anyone have played the first one of these, Tales of Iron. You ever play Tales of Iron, Huber?
The rat one?
Yeah, it's the rat
dude.
one. Doug Cockle's narrating this trailer. I think he narrated the first game. I could be wrong.
Wait, there's another one coming?
Dude,
Tales of Iron 2.
vibes.
Yeah, they revealed it today.
What?
Yep.
Dude! That game's sick.
The art style looks really great. Like, I think
Yeah.
they've actually done it. Like, even having just seen trailers before, I think they've really upped their game on this one.
Dude.
White Whiskers.
In. So in.
Yeah, let me see if I got any details on that. But I don't think so. I don't think I got an email on Tales of Iron 2. No.
It looks really cool. I mean, as a fan of Redwall, this little anamorphic mice thing is pretty cool.
Yep. Combat's hardcore. Game's crazy.
It's crazy bats. Bat guys attacking you.
Wow.
Looks cool.
What? And then the last thing, the one more thing, Industria 2.
Something about a flare down an elevator shaft
dude. Yeah.
is such a 10 out of 10.
Yep. Yeah,
It's
this has got
Control. It's Godzilla 2014. It's
first person wandering through the dark. Lots of glare coming off your gun here.
you got an old what is that? An M1 Garand? What is that?
Yeah, in a mine shaft.
So it's a period piece.
Yeah. It is a compelling narrative FPS that unfolds in an alternate dimension dominated by a malevolent artificial intelligence.
Uh-oh.
And you play as Nora,
Nora.
who becomes lost in a perilous, unfamiliar world. Navigating this hostile terrain, you must confront dangerous robots, unravel the mystery of the AI, and ultimately find your way back home to 1989 East Berlin.
Whoa.
Yeah. So really kind of realistic art style, but
Yeah, it
like
looks
lots of emphasis
cool.
on lighting effects and crazy robots.
Yeah. All
We
right.
love a crazy robot
Yeah, I
around
mean-
here.
You know, Valve's not going to make Half-Life 3.
Yeah.
It's up to other people to carry on that mantle. Let's go.
Just a little
Yeah, that
tease
one
there.
looks cool.
2025 for that one.
Into it.
Definitely shades of Half-Life there. I like it.
Yeah. Yeah, and the
Industria 2?
Wait, when was the first
When
one?
was 1?
I don't know.
All right.
Never heard of the first one.
Okay.
What are you doing, Industria? Maybe it's Industria.
Right.
Don't say right to that, like that made any sense.
We've got more to come, but if you've been enjoying the show so far, please take a second to like and subscribe and ring that bell on YouTube. Leave a review if you're on one of those podcast apps. It helps us and it helps you stay connected. And now, a word from our sponsors.
Hey, you got an identity, right? Well, then you're in luck, because today's sponsor is going to help you protect that thing, using Cogni to protect your personal data. Data breaches are a big problem, and every year they're getting worse worldwide. According to the 2022 Annual Data Breach Report by the Identity Theft Resource Center, the number of victims has gone up by nearly 41.5% from 2021. Data brokers aggregate your personal information like your names and aliases, social security number, login credentials, home address, IP address, location history, gender, your kids' info, your online activity, employment history, financial information, shopping habits, and much more. All of this is available for purchase by businesses and ne'er-do-wells for pennies on the dollar. And the US has another big old problem: people search sites. Your info is just sitting on these sites for anyone to see. In a nutshell, your personal information is being sold or published online without you even knowing about it. It's already happening, for real. It's already on there. The good news is you have the right to protect your privacy and request that data brokers delete the information they hold about you. The bad news is that it would take you like literal years to do this manually, just one time. But this is where Incogni comes into play. Incogni reaches out to data brokers on your behalf, requests that your data be removed, and deals with any objections that they might have, and then they even repeat that process over and over and over so that sites that add your data back on will take it back off again and keep it off. It's super easy and really fast to sign up and really fairly priced, I think. I've used other services like this in the past, and this one is definitely my favorite for sure. It's super quick to sign up, and it gives you great feedback right away, and you see where and how it's working. Pretty quickly, I started getting notified that I was being removed from sites. It's really good, works really well. I'm very pleased. I'm very serious about internet security too, so this is a good sponsor. I'm happy about it. And you can also now get serious about your internet security with Incogni. So don't get scammed or stalked or have a loan taken out in your name or whatever. Use Incogni to help get your info off that stinky old internet. Use code ALLIES at incogni.com/allies to get an exclusive 60% off of an annual Incogni plan. It's a lot. 60% of an annual Incogni plan. That's incogni.com/allies, incogni.com/allies. Selling a little or a lot, Shopify helps you do your thing however you cha-ching. Shopify is the global commerce platform that helps you sell at every stage of your business. From the launch your online shop stage to the first real-life store stage, all the way to the did we just hit 1 million orders stage, Shopify is there to help you grow. Whether you're selling scented soap or offering outdoor outfits, Shopify helps you sell everywhere. From their all-in-one e-commerce platform to their in-person POS system, wherever and whatever you're selling, Shopify has got you covered. Shopify helps you turn browsers into buyers with the internet's best converting checkout, 36% better on average compared to other leading commerce platforms. And sell more with less effort thanks to Shopify Magic, your AI-powered all-star. I really love that Shopify is there to grow with you no matter how big you get or how small you start. You know, they are there for you on every step of the way. Shopify powers 10% of all e-commerce in the United States, and Shopify is the global force behind Allbirds, Rothy's, and Brooklinen, and millions of other entrepreneurs of every size across 175 countries. Plus, Shopify's award-winning help is there to support your success every step of the way, because businesses that grow, grow with Shopify. Sign up for a $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/allies. All lowercase. Go to shopify.com/allies now to grow your business no matter what stage you're in. shopify.com/allies. Shopify.com/allies.
And if you are a patron of Easy Allies, thank you. All right. Review copies provided by PlayStation.
Review copy provided by PlayStation.
Throw a timestamp on there,
Fix
too.
the sign. I put it on screen, too, but fix the sign.
Oh,
Thanks.
yeah. Nice. Yeah, we've been playing a bit of Rise of the Ronin.
Rise of the Ronin.
I was playing before starting Dragon's Dogma, and you were too a bit, right, Isla?
Yeah, I've played 3 or 4 hours of it.
Okay.
And then Dragon's Dogma erased everything in my life besides Dragon's Dogma.
And then Hubert, you just started playing last night.
Yeah, man. Like,
Huber's shockingly not into it.
dude,
I'm
Team Ninja.
really into it.
Team
it's
Ninja. I cannot get into Team Ninja games, the onboarding, the UI, the amount of like excess in their games is staggering.
insane, yeah.
There is way too much all the time in their games. There's things that they explain to you that it's like, should I even bother to learn this? Like, what are you even talking about? Like, that's just me. I've struggled. I've had issues with Neo and Wolong, and yeah, there's just something about Team Ninja games that just do not click with my brain. And then when I finally do start to really learn the combat and get comfortable with it, it never feels great. It never feels great despite so it's like I do all this work to try to really wrap my head around their games, and then finally when it starts to click, I'm just like, it feels okay. It feels all right.
That's interesting because I mean I've been enjoying it for sure.
Yeah.
And kind of just to set up, it's like, you're playing starts in 1853. You're playing as a Ronin who's part of this village where it's like they have this like specific martial arts style where like it's based on two people that come up together, and then like. And
critically, there is which surprised me. There's a character creator. You can play as whoever you want. I thought it was like going to be a specific story based on the trailers.
Right.
But you can
well,
be a girl
it still
and everything.
is, but it's like your character just can look however you want them to look.
Yeah.
And so there's a male character and a female character, and when they get separated, you can choose which one that you're going to play as, essentially.
They're both male or female.
It just blows me away because I should love their games. Neo, dude, a Samurai Souls game, like freaking this, dude. Shogun hype, shout out. But just like everything about these games I should like, I just never ever click with Team Ninja. I've tried every single time. Neo 1, Neo 2, Wolong, even didn't they do Final Fantasy Origins? Was that them? Even that had like so much effing gear. Like, stop with the gear, Team Ninja. It's too much. Like, the best way for me to describe their games is just excess. There's just too much stuff, dude. They always lose focus for me. They're pulling me in like 100 different directions, and each of those directions is extremely complex and complicated in a way that I don't feel rewarded by learning those things.
That's interesting because like I feel like a lot of this has been streamlined. The loot thing is still a thing, but I feel like I quickly adapted to the loot where it's like, okay, like I know what the weapon types are, and then like I'll have a current one and whatever like the next best one is, and then like I'll just sell off the rest, right?
Yeah.
But like to me, like one of the things that's describing the way this feels is that it like in comparison to like a lot of similar games, it feels kind of like light.
It does, dude.
In a way
all
that
their
I
games
like.
do, and I don't like that.
I
like heavy, dude. I like Makiri counters, dude. I like Sekiro parries.
But the counters in this are a big part of it.
Yeah, but they feel just like so, like you said, just light and weird. Like it lacks. Whenever I kill someone in their games, I don't feel the kill, dude. I never feel the kill in Team Ninja games.
That's so interesting. I actually quite like how this game feels.
Yeah,
I'm the outlier here.
I think for me it's like maybe because I maybe have a stronger capacity to ignore things I'm not interested in than you do, because like for me it's like I'm like, okay, I like the two swords. That's what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And so I went with the katana.
I don't need to know about any of the other stuff because it's just like this is what I like. Like I tried all of them in the tutorial area, and I was like, okay, this is the one I like, and followed by the pole arm. Those are what I'm gonna do.
Those are the two I started with.
And
I
just ignore everything else.
Yeah.
And like.
But then that feels weird that it's just like shoving 100 things down your throat, and it's like, which of those 100 things should I actually pay attention to?
The one you like.
Like, no, but other
if
things
you don't like
too,
any of
just
them, then
like,
none of them.
like not just weapons, like crafting or proficiencies or skills or bonds and side quests and all these things. I just feel like I just get lost in these games. I don't know. That's just me. Team Ninja, dude. It just doesn't. Some things just don't click. unfortunately for me, Team Ninja games are that thing for me where I've tried every time, and I should like it because everything about the games they make I do love, but just the way they deliver it, I don't know. It just I've never clicked.
They're funny for me because like, you know, to use your kind of like the clicking or the romance kind of metaphor. It's like there's sort of a whirlwind romance for me. Team Ninja games.
Yeah.
Like I was deeply in love with Neo and Neo 2 and then just stopped playing them at some point 'cause they were too big.
They're so
like,
long. It's excess,
This
dude.
one, the way it starts and the story hook, I really liked.
Same,
I really enjoyed the introduction of this game.
Me too.
And the way it sets everything up, and I thought it was cinematic and interesting, and the story hook is really neat, and it gives you some emotional choices and some interesting things happen right up front. And I was like, okay, you know, so it got the hooks in narratively to me. And then after that, it goes into kind of the open world section, and then I was like, okay, here's the game, you know.
Yeah.
And I was enjoying that, but I could definitely see myself like, you know, just stopping at some point.
But there's a part of
to me,
that,
there's not anything wrong with that, really. It's
Yeah.
like play a game until you're tired of it and stop. You
For
know?
sure. And it's well made. Again,
Yeah.
it just doesn't, you know, I'm being critical of it, but from only from my experience. Like, this is a good game for sure. From what I've played, and just like Neo, but it's like I don't comprehend those games in a fully.
Dude, this is interesting.
It's just bizarre, dude.
Well, no,
so bizarre.
it honestly, I feel a little validated by this because it's like you were talking about how 16 has like the easiest combat on the planet, and
Yeah.
I found it very difficult, and I did not enjoy any of it.
Yeah.
Similar with Rebirth, it's like the combat just isn't my cup of tea, really. Whereas like this, or especially Dragon's Dogma, I'm like, oh hell yeah, like
Yeah.
I can get into this, you know.
Yeah.
It's so interesting how people
Like-
are just different.
Yeah, like
that.
Dragon's Dogma, I love the weight
Oh my
of
God.
it. And it's like, also, it's like, okay, you can have like
Have we talked about Dragon's Dogma, you
four
guys?
skills
Dragon's
equipped.
Dogma was so good, dude.
And just the UI and the onboarding and everything is just so much cleaner and easier to understand and digest in Dragon's Dogma. Just, oh my God, like Team Ninja menus and everything. I'm just like, what am I even looking
That's
at?
funny because I'm still trying to get into Dragon's Dogma, and this stuff is all making pretty good sense to me for the most part.
One thing I love is I love historical anything. I love.
I thought that you would
history.
love like getting into the
Yes.
city and everything.
all of that, and all of the glossary, like who the characters are, what the things are, what the time period, all the like historical lore it gives you. So well done, so good. I immediately went down the rabbit hole. I was like, who the hell is it? The president? I didn't even know who this president was. Like, what? It is going down the rabbit hole. One of the earliest people is like Matthew Perry, and it was like
Yeah.
actually a real person.
Sophia
Yeah.
was laughing about that.
Yeah.
She was like, Matthew Perry, dude?
Yeah. So like really good historical.
Also, she saw my character wearing a fedora. And so then what was the name you called her? Elizabeth.
Yeah,
She just kept referring to her as Elizabeth.
a lot of hats.
A lot of hats.
A lot of hats.
I think to go back to your sort of like Team Ninja maximalism point, and how they hit you with so much UI and so much text and so much loot, you know. To me, it kind of speaks, you know, to compare it with Dragon's Dogma, because that was the other focal point of this episode, and they're coming out on the same day. Like, to me, they're two separate approaches to similar things, right? Where it's like Dragon's Dogma lets you onboard yourself at your own pace, you know, which, you know, is something I really love. And there are like 5 or 6 or 7 or 10 maybe weapons per vocation, you know, and like you look at them and you're like, okay, that one is clearly stronger. Whereas this one is like, you know, it's onboarding you by giving you all of the information up front.
Yep.
But like,
And the information is hard to comprehend.
Sure, but like to Blood's point, it's kind of like if you can onboard information like that, you know, it's not my preferred way, but I could see it working if, you know, you just want to learn the things you want to know and then go for it and hit the ground running and go after that, you know?
Yeah.
Like I could see that working pretty well. And then like, yeah, you just fashion souls and make the numbers go up, and I don't know.
Yeah, because
It's weird though.
I think with the, like once you hit the open world, like you're talking about, to me, like even the streamlining, it was very clear, like, okay, this is where you're supposed to go. Here's your main quest. And then if you want to go off and do the side stuff, this is just side stuff. Like, and this is just about, like playing around with the systems and the combat system and all of that. And, and I do like some of the tweaks that they have there. Like there's this thing called vendettas.
Yeah.
And so like if an enemy takes you out, so when you kill enemies, you build this, like they call a karma gauge. And if an enemy takes you out, they get all your karma, kind of like if you like dropped your souls, right?
Yeah.
And then you can get it back.
It's like Dark Souls 2.
Yeah, by hitting them and getting a critical hit.
Yeah.
And then once you get to a checkpoint, one of the banners, you basically can cash in all that karma for skill points. And then there are also like additional skill points for like strength and intellect and charm and all of that stuff.
And I'm early. That stuff didn't seem all that compelling. Like, again, sorry I'm comparing it to Dragon's Dogma. It's just new open world game came out at the same time. But like, you get the vocations and it's like, okay, I immediately want to level these up. And then like I was looking at the Rise of the Ronin skills and I'm just like, okay.
The skill tree
whatever.
does not betray its secrets readily to the casual observer. No. You don't look at it and say like, "Oh, I need that."
Yeah, I definitely have had that experience to where it's like after I've done a few more things, then it's like, okay, now I want
understand that. Want that.
Now I see why I would want that.
Also, shout out to stealth, giving me that Tenchu vibe.
Yeah.
Really love stealth in this game.
There's some pretty cool stuff with the stealth because one of the things I like with the stealth is there is a mechanic with how enemies react. So if somebody comes across a body, they get freaked out.
Panicked.
They get panicked.
Love that.
And so then you can take advantage of that and kill them while they're panicked and basically get like a free crits on them. Or if like you surprise attack somebody and somebody's standing next to them, they'll get panicked as well.
Yeah.
And then with the partner mechanics, which there's also like a co-op, which I haven't played yet.
We haven't tried that
with
yet.
Another person. But
that would be a fun way to play.
That's
this
why
game.
we've got codes. The three of us is so that we can play together.
That would be a very fun way to play. I feel like.
But so there's a co-op partner that you can have, and they have form bonds with different characters and stuff. And even like with the AI partner, it's pretty cool to like work your way stealthing through a base. I would like. Shoot an arrow and hit a guy in the head, and then he would follow up. Well, I got this guy over here. I unlocked the double assassination perk, which is always great.
Always.
Air assassinations are nice.
Switching between
Tenchu
people when the person you're fighting's back is to them is really fun.
That's fun,
that's the other thing too.
That's
Is
an
you
interesting
control
mechanic.
the other partner that you can go back and forth because they will have specific skills. Like it was Sakamoto. What is it? Got his name here. But the guy that you come across, Roma Sakamoto, which isn't that the same name as the Yakuza Ishin? The same guy?
Yes.
Okay. He's got like a handgun with fire element, you know. So he's like all about
double pistols,
taking the
Max Payne over here,
the gear from the West and the technology of the West, and not falling behind all that stuff.
Blackthorn.
But so he's cool.
Dude.
But you do that stuff, and then like he'll comment on it. And it's like, yeah, that's smooth. Good job.
Yeah.
I'm
gonna go back to it.
Yeah.
Maybe next week I'll be like, yo, it finally clicked.
Yeah.
But they've never clicked for me, dude. I don't know. So we'll see.
It's so funny to me
I know.
like, especially this one.
It's bizarre, dude.
It feels like it's everything you want.
like legit. I'm not making this up. When the game gave me a tutorial. And I read it 4 times, and I was like, I don't know what this means.
Yeah. It's a lot at once up top.
I read it 4 times in a row, and I'm like, what? So, I don't know. And I'm a very, very patient gamer. I take my time. I'm very thorough. So I'm going to give it a little more time. Try to like, figure it out, dude. I don't know, man.
What's interesting is that you've got the basic attack, but then you also have like a dedicated counter button.
Yeah.
And so that's the thing. You watch
the rhythm of like the counters. Like feels really nice.
Yeah,
for sure.
You look for that rhythm, and especially because there will be guys that will like kind of like do this sweeping arc of like 1 hit and then 2 hit and then 3 hit, and there's like learning like what they will do with those.
Yeah.
And then some dudes
Like
will
a
just
spear.
leap at you, and you're like, holy crap. Like,
Yeah.
yeah. Oh yeah, countering a spears always
and,
feel good.
Like the sickest thing of all time, like ever in anything, is blocking a bullet with a sword.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So that's one of the upgrades here. So
Yeah.
like when you first do it, there's a cool thing where like it makes it makes
On
your
fire.
swords go on fire.
Awesome.
But then when you upgrade, it will actually knock back
Nice.
the bullets and arrows, which is good. But then the other thing is the grapple,
Yeah.
and that is pretty sweet because
Sekiro, dude.
you can use it. Yeah, you can use it like Sekiro, where you like go up to ledges. You can also use it underwater. You can swim through caves and like grapple forward. But then in combat, you can like jump and then grapple at a guy and slice while you're flying through the
Hell yeah.
air.
It's also a lot of decapitations.
Yeah, there are a lot of decapitations.
Dude, it's so gory.
Yeah.
Very
but,
gory game.
But like, if there's an archer on the wall, it's just like, drink,
Yeah.
come down here.
Heck yeah. Get over here. Damiani, what are your thoughts on Team Ninja games, dude?
What are
Damiani
your
played the
thoughts on
Final
God?
Fantasy one, I think. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, we played Stranger of Paradise.
Yep. Great game.
so-
Great game.
I mean, but we played it co-op,
Exactly,
so
exactly.
I don't know if I would have played it single player for very far. I played the demo solo. And it was like okay, but I probably wouldn't have played through it the entirety. And then, but yeah, Other M was also
Oh, boy.
good.
Oh, sure.
But beyond the story, I mean, combat was pretty cool in that. So I would say that part of it was enjoyable, but maybe not the other. I mean, unfortunately, when it comes to Tecmo Koei, I'm more into the Omega Force stuff than Team Ninja.
Oh,
so
wow.
like all the warrior stuff.
Sure.
Generally, like the theme stuff, the Hyrule Warriors, Age of Calamity, the Fire Emblem Warriors,
Dragon Quest Heroes.
But you
I didn't play
like
that
cats,
one.
right, Damiani?
Yeah,
A lot of cats in Rise of
Great
Ronin.
cat petting in this game.
Yeah,
Holy cow.
one of the collectibles is finding
really,
cats.
really good cat petting.
Yeah.
Wait, is fighting cat?
No.
Petting.
Finding cats.
pick- you find them, pick them up,
okay,
and
sorry,
pet
I
them.
said fighting. I was like, what?
Yeah, so yeah, you actually like hold them in your arms and up to your chest.
Yeah, but everything Huber's saying,
He's not
even though I
interested.
don't have the I'm not falling for like the bait because this game seems like it has like issues that to me that would not interest me.
Yeah, I don't think you would
So
like
I-
this game, W.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Like with Neo and its combat system, it just is something that never really appealed to me. And when you say something that a Team Ninja Souls-like, I only have the bandwidth for so many Souls-like games, and it's usually FromSoft. You're good. Every like 2-3 years, I get a FromSoft game. I'm good. I really don't need any more of those. And so when something like this comes along, and yes, they have the habit of like just dropping way too much stuff on you, too much knowledge, too much info, too many like pieces of gear, too many numbers, and it's just not fun.
So many numbers.
It doesn't because it doesn't even
All their
look
games.
fun. And
many numbers.
yeah, I mean, some people might dig that, but and again, it's a preference thing. I just generally look at these games and say, nah, I'm good. I mean, this one was the one that probably had like generated the most interest from me of a Team Ninja game, and as far as I can remember.
Sure.
But I didn't get around to it. And as soon as people started talking about it in previews and giving impressions, I was like, okay, maybe it's not as like a necessity to play it as I thought. You know, maybe this isn't the breakout game possibly for them. It's just kind of like more the same, but also them trying a few different things here and there. And yeah, it's kind of unfortunate it's coming out at the time it is alongside such, heavy hitters like Dragon's Dogma 2.
It's funny to me because like I'm very critical of Souls likes.
Yeah.
For me, generally, it's FromSoft and nobody. These to me and Neo. Speaking mostly, I guess, about Neo and Neo 2, which I loved. They felt like arcadey to
Yeah.
me, like arcadey, silly versions of FromSoft, and this kind of retains that kind of vibe for me. So it's like this. from the trailers and stuff, I had expected this to be a little more like sacrosanct, like more serious. But it's Neo. Like if you like Neo 2, you'll like this probably.
100%.
Well, to
and if
me,
you
so
didn't,
far,
you
I mean, it
won't.
doesn't feel as over the top as Neo. Like it does.
It's a little less over the top for sure,
Yeah.
like tonally. But
Yeah.
it gameplay wise, collection wise, you know, and it does dip into joviality with the cats and stuff. But yeah, generally it's more serious.
Yeah, and I like getting around the world. Like I think that like especially in performance mode, like it looks really nice.
Yeah, it looks
it's like
sweet.
the Ghost of Tsushima type, like rolling fields and all the grass and everything there.
Yeah, that's the thing to me. Sorry to go back real quick. For someone like me, if you're trying to appeal to someone like me with this type of stuff, I have Sekiro, I have Ghost of Tsushima, and what is this offering that I didn't get done better in either of those games? I guess is the question.
Just more of that.
Just
vibe.
more that's done like not as well, like
And a
combat
character
wise.
creator.
Yeah, it's like
If you only
have
play
two
the
different
best,
styles.
though, you're limiting yourself.
I don't know. I mean, it's called valuing your time.
True,
I mean,
sure.
I mean, if it's swimming in sevens, some people don't want to play swimming in sevens games.
True.
I mean, we
But I
have.
don't even be like that harsh. I mean, like
Yeah,
I say,
same.
like I've had a
Seems
great
like an
time.
8.
Same.
Oh,
I think
it
it's a
sounds like an
very
8.
good
Okay,
game.
I didn't
It's
know
just
where
not
you were
for me.
going with this.
I really
sure.
liked
Hearing
it.
the discussion,
I agree.
I was like borderline.
I really liked it. If you're at all skeptical, and I mean, I don't typically like to say this kind of thing, but like, if you're skeptical and like there are 2 other huge games coming out tomorrow, you know, maybe wait until it's on sale or something and pick it up. But like, I was enjoying, and again, I've only played 4 or 5 hours, but I really enjoyed the beginning part. And
Yeah.
then, you know,
That
obviously
is-
I like Dragon's Dogma more by far. So if you have the finances for one this week, make it Dragon's Dogma.
Yeah,
I mean, yeah.
because
We're saying like the best for this, and it's like I just have to wait 2.5 more months till Elden Ring expansion. It's like, yeah.
Oh man, yeah.
So I'm like, I don't need to get into like something like this when I got something like that on the horizon.
God,
So
I
it's
didn't realize
like
that was
I can wait a little while.
Yeah, great
I'm
point.
good.
Oh, yeah, shoot.
But one of my favorite things about this podcast format now is just like the check-ins. So I'm very early in this game. I'm
Yeah.
definitely gonna give it another big fair shake because I should like it. Maybe I'll finally understand it, dude. Next week I'll come and I'll be like, yo, Goaty. We'll see.
yeah, it's one of those things where it's like the way that it's structured so far to me, like I kind of like the way that the loop is in terms of like, okay, there's these little bases and villages and stuff to kind of like like when you would do in The Witcher 3. Like,
Yeah.
You know, you take down this base, you get all the guys, and then it becomes like a little town
love-
spot.
Yeah,
right?
the people come.
The
it's so
public
good.
order events,
Yeah.
those are nice.
And then I accidentally pulled my sword out and they all ran away. They're like, ah! That's funny.
But again, it's nice that you have that, and it's just clear that like, okay, this is just an open world thing I can do, and then I can move on to the main quest.
Yeah.
Whenever, you know, I don't have to stop off here. I'm stopping off here because I want to stop off here.
Yeah.
And I want to take out, you know.
I do worry
this-
about level gating. Like if you need to do a certain amount of open world stuff to like be competitive, you know? Because
maybe, yeah.
the one of the first how I learned about karma was a guy 5 levels higher than me just trounced my ass, and then I couldn't get my stuff back because he was too hard.
Well, that's
And,
not,
like, yeah.
that's why like it's not about killing him. It's just getting a critical
Get a
hit
crit,
because like
yeah.
you can just basically knock him in the back and then book it.
Gut and run.
It was
Yeah.
not clearly explained, so I thought I had to kill him. But yeah, that's good to know.
Unclear.
But then
Team Ninja.
again about the
Unclear.
stuff that
Byzantine tutorials.
they've sped up is like you can just like at any point like fast travel to a banner really quick.
Yeah.
So it's like there'll be like these islands and stuff with treasure chests or NPCs out there. Swim out to an island, do all this, like make this big trek, and it's like, all right,
Head back.
hit the map. I'm back over there.
Sweet.
With the horse,
Yeah.
there's this auto run feature. So you basically like just click a point on the map, horse goes, you run by any crafting resources, it just automatically throws them in your pack.
Nice.
So just like, again, kind of in some ways the opposite of things
Yeah.
that we were talking about with Dragon's Dogma.
Totally.
That's what I was gonna say. It's
But
like it was really funny playing.
Work for it, yeah.
It was really funny playing Rebirth and then this and then Dragon's Dogma. Like in Rebirth, I once fast traveled instead of walking around the block to talk to Chadley because it was faster. I just fast traveled like across a continent
Yeah.
to talk to him instead of walking around a block in a town because I knew it would take less time.
So funny. Yep.
So I think that's the thing is like when I say lightness, I feel like that sort of applies to all of it. It applies to like running around and traversing the world. It applies to some of the combat. It applies to like just the UI and the loading times. And,
Yeah.
And so it's a game where it's like, I don't feel like, oh, this is like gonna be a huge slog that I have to get into. It's like, oh, get in and hit some dudes. I don't know.
Get in and hit some dude. All right, I'll reframe.
Yeah, I mean that's a good way of putting it.
I'll
Blood.
reframe.
Like that's kind of I guess what I meant with the Neo like arcadey kind of a thing. Is like these games don't feel like they're super serious. Like they're sort of just like light and fun and weird and zany. I guess that's how I'd read them anyway.
Yeah, I definitely don't feel zany, but
Not
yeah.
zany but like gameplay wise. I don't know. I guess that's a holdover from my Neo feelings. But like
yeah,
I don't know.
and
Like the cats are like the Kodama or Kendama or whatever from the Neo. You like find the cute little guys. I love those little guys.
Yeah.
Just makes no sense, dude. I love Ghost of Tsushima. I love
Yeah, I thought you'd be all over this.
I love Elden Ring.
You love Assassin's Creed.
I love Assassin's
Got those
Creed.
vibes
I
with the
love
glider.
Ninja Gaiden. I love samurais. I love
You love
history.
Bonds.
It makes no sense.
You love cutting guys' heads off.
I know. Next week we'll do a quick check-in. We'll see
Okay.
where I'm at with it.
Let's get on to the February sales report.
Nice.
Got some numbers from Matt Piscatella of Circana.
GTA 5.
No,
What? No.
no.
Just
Well,
the dummy reaction every time, dude.
They're in the
Every
they're in the
time.
monthly active users, but I didn't write down all those numbers. Just overall 17% growth on mobile, 30% decline on hardware.
Ooh,
Overall 2% growth.
everyone's waiting for Switch 2.
Maybe, but I also think it's that sort of there's still whenever you do like year to year comparisons, there's all these weird like little holdovers, right? It's like I was like, oh, February was when Hogwarts came out, so that's why compared to last February, things are gonna look down when it's not necessarily that it's bad. It's the last time it was huge.
Yeah.
So yeah. But some interesting stories going on here. Biggest news is that Sensor Tower data shows U.S. mobile is up 17% because of Monopoly Go.
I was just going to say because of Monopoly Go. I swear
Yes.
on my life that was what I was going to say.
It was revealed last week that $2 billion
Yeah.
has been spent on Monopoly Go in its first 10 months.
I play Monopoly Go. This game is very addicting. But let me tell you, it tries to get you to spend money in very, very smart ways
Okay.
and constant ways. You'll do something and it'll be like, hey, want to buy this? No. Want to buy this though? No. Do you want to buy this? I'm not even kidding. It floods you with like 7 things to buy constantly.
I couldn't withstand that.
There's also...
I'm not strong enough. I would buy things.
I've spent $6 total that I will never spend another cent on this game, but I was like, okay, every time I jump into free
I
to
always
play,
tell myself that. And then
Yeah.
I just keep spending more.
there's things like there's a reward track sometimes on things where it'll be like free reward claim, free reward claim. This reward though is $2, but if you buy that $2 one, the next 3 are free. So you're spending 2, but you're getting, it's just
boy.
it is crazy. Fun game though.
Fun game.
I'm serious. I just love Monopoly.
You really do.
It's got such a good aesthetic, and like you're just like, the whole goal is to like build out a board, and then you go to a new one. It's like it's fun.
Play Warframe with me.
PC spending, as well as cloud and PC VR, or non-console VR, because I guess that includes the MetaQuest as well, increased by high single-digit percentages while both console and subscription content went down. So Game Pass is down. But Dead Island 2 came out on Game Pass in February without an announcement. And that took it from 121st place in monthly active users on Xbox to 8th.
Wow.
So
Good game. Great Game Pass game.
Yeah, it's a great Game Pass game for sure.
Yep. Super, super fun.
All console platforms were down a minimum of 19% compared to a year ago. So pretty big dip there. Everything else is kind of the same. PlayStation's on top in units and dollars, Switches, units, Xbox's dollars, second places. And then accessories grew 25%, and that's got the remote play devices now. The PlayStation Portal was the number one thing with the DualSense Edge as second. Let's get into this top 20, which has got some very interesting top 20s for February. We have 5 new entries for February.
All right.
One of these you're not going to guess. So once you get one of them, I'm going to tell you the other. So
Please.
Okay. Well.
Please tell me Outlast Trials.
So I do. Well, I do. Wait. What did you say? Hubert?
Outlast Trials?
no Outlast Trials.
No chance, dude. Helldivers 2, though.
Helldivers 2.
That's gonna be high.
number 1.
Whoa!
Yeah, probably makes sense.
zeitgeist is so
that thing
real.
is increasing
That
week
game is
over
sick,
week.
dude. Yeah,
Like,
impossible
higher sales
trend.
each.
I am out of touch when it comes to TikTok and whatnot, but this game is. There's never been a better game to market with short little clips ever in the history of video games. I swear to
Don't
you,
know about that.
every 30-second clips of just the most insane shit, like people blowing up, mechs coming in. Like, this game is so easy.
I saw that.
I think Dragon's Dogma 2 is getting some of that already
Breath of
now.
the Wild had that a lot in 2017. Short clips everywhere.
Sure.
Mario
But
Maker.
I think Helldivers, though, dude, it is visually
But of this
striking,
year,
and
Hubert,
it's like, I need to play that. Like, for the casuals who do not play video games, they are like, what is that? Oh my god, a co-op, like, Starship Troopers game? Let's go.
Yeah, I think Helldivers has such a cool reach because it's
Yep.
like such an easy pitch.
It is such
It's
an
like-
easy pitch.
Yeah, go kill bugs in space. Like
Exactly.
that has a way wider reach than Zelda or Mario even. I think.
100,000,000%
On
best
TikTok.
game on TikTok of all time, dude. I will bank that.
Nice.
There's only 2 months, but it is now the top-selling game of the year, outranking Call of Duty and Tekken as well.
Yep.
Dang.
Again, I have friends who
good.
don't really game, and multiple of them have been like, dude, I keep seeing this like crazy like space shooting game like on my feed every time. They're like, dude, it looks crazy.
Launch month
Yep.
dollar sales represent the 7th highest total ever for a Sony published title in the U.S.
Crazy.
That's
Dang.
nuts.
That's insane.
It's wild.
Good job.
Also,
Yeah.
nearly
Pretty good.
60% of Helldivers 2 sales in February came from Steam.
All right. Steam.
So there you go.
Dang.
That day and date.
All
That's a
right.
very important stat there. That's interesting.
Yeah, power PC.
Monthly active users is interesting because Helldivers is actually 7th place on PlayStation
Because nobody can get in the game.
because of Fortnite and all of that stuff above it.
I keep seeing.
But then number 1 on Steam.
Got it. I keep seeing, which is one of the main reasons I haven't fully committed, is because I keep seeing people get disconnected and losing like hours of progress, and it's still happening. Just the other day,
good.
Paul Tassia Forbes was like, "Yeah, I think I'm done on Helldivers for a bit because I got booted like 3 different times and lost like hours of progress." So I'm like, "Okay, I'm gonna give it like a month or so to fully dive back in and commit."
Okay.
Dang.
Yeah.
That's not good.
Yeah.
So 3 more newbies.
All right. Let's get the other big one out of the way with like what 1 day, 2 days. Where is Rebirth, baby?
Rebirth.
It's 2nd
Where is
place.
There you go.
And it's also kind of 8th place. There's
I saw. Okay,
Final Fantasy VII Remake
yes.
and Rebirth Twin
The
Pack.
twin pack, yeah. I saw Max tweet about that. I did see that one.
So Helldivers 2 sold more than Rebirth? Is that?
Yeah.
That is
But it also had a
also,
longer
Rebirth is only
time
on
the-
PlayStation 5,
Yep.
and only had 2 days of 1 or 2 days of sales. So because that's the March 2nd, so like 2 full days of sales. So yeah, that's
wild.
and you combine that with the remake Rebirth twin pack, and people need to stop putting so much stake into Japanese sales data, I think is the message here before Doom posting
I
about
think we're all just
games.
We're all just scarred, Damiani, where like if a Japanese game didn't sell back then, it was like, all right, well we're never getting that franchise again. See you later.
Oh, I mean, it's also like a misread on the room about game being exclusive on a console where consoles are just not selling in that market anymore. Handhelds are king there. So obviously if they made like a Switch version or comes to Switch 2 at some point, like different, it's going to be a different story. If part 3 is, it's not anyway. Very happy that it like charted that high and stuff, because I think there was some, to be fair though, there was some, little tension in the room about, man, if that doesn't get like maybe in the top 5, yikes, is this not a good sign?
Because the budget's got to be pretty
Well, there's also
high.
Physicatel also made a point of comparing Rebirth to Remake, and it's like, yeah, dude, that was like comparing anything to 2020 is going to be a little weird.
Good point. Yeah.
All right, we have 2 more on
Grand
here.
Blue Fantasy.
No Grand Blue.
Persona 3. Persona 3.
No.
Well, Persona 3 is on there, but it's not
Where
new.
is it?
Persona 3 is 9th place.
Oh, 6. So it's still in the top 10.
Hell yeah.
Month 2. That's pretty good for that. That's nice to hear. All right, I got 2 questions, because I mean, this one I got to know if it charted at all. I'm assuming it did. And Don's probably not listening, but where's Skull and Bones? we need to know its fate.
Skull and Bones?
Yes.
4th place.
Yo!
Skull and Bones lives.
Don, how many copies did you buy?
I wish Don were in here.
Skull and Bones
Don!
lives.
Don, did he max out your credit card? What?
Yeah.
I
Bones
mean,
is
that's
fourth-
a win for Ubisoft, I guess.
Fourth place.
Speech.
Somebody must have been pumping a lot of money. Skull and Bones.
Wearing the hoodie.
Some unknown billionaire maybe must be funneling some money.
Fund Easy Allies.
By the way, someone's spending money somewhere.
What the fuck?
That's just insanity.
That is.
And then
Don
you had another.
Tomato.
You had another.
The other question is because it was how far it fell down, because is Warner Brothers Suicide Squad.
Suicide Squad is
Where-
at 7.
So it's still top 10?
Wow.
Yeah.
How's that possible?
That's not horrible, right?
Right.
Player numbers though don't
Oh, sure.
reflect.
Again, here's the thing.
But
this is a
cooking the
weird
books.
freaking game where it's like, oh, here we're gonna make a multiplayer game that is essentially a single player game that you can play with people. Like, there's no reason to keep playing that game after you're done with it. There just isn't.
But
Not wrong.
this flies in the face of what they were just saying recently about we're doubling down on like multiplayer service games. It's like your best selling game last year was a single player game.
Yeah.
And it seems like people are buying this game for just the single player experience, and the player counts just nosediving because no one wants to play anything after. So I think this sends a message that you could have, made this a single player game and made this a success story and not gone for that. So I think they're just like the direction it's for their evidence that they're going in the wrong direction. WB with their gaming division. It's like, what are you doing?
Very
see how
curious
the
with
seasons-
Jokers next
Exactly.
week. Yeah, so
Oh, yeah.
That'll be very
Speaking
telling.
of which, where is the Evil Wizard game?
Hogwarts is at 10th. So
See, still freaking in the top 10. So
crazy.
it's like, what do you expect?
Wow.
and Mortal Kombat is at 18. So
Oh, MK1, nice. Okay, Mario Kart 8 is still in the top 20.
Mario Kart 8 is at 17.
All right, good, because I feel like if it drops off the list, The following month, we get that Switch 2 reveal with the Mario Kart 9.
As soon as it drops off.
As soon as it drops,
Oh, that's
Nintendo's ready to
perfect.
hit the reveal button.
There is one more new game you haven't gotten yet, though.
Pacific Drive.
Oh, I wish, but no.
Yeah, not a chance.
No.
That would be great, though.
What else came out in February?
Game you were gonna check out, but we didn't get around to it.
We were gonna check out.
Mm-hmm.
We were all gonna check out.
Well,
this
you were
thing?
gonna check out specifically.
That didn't come out last month.
Last month was 3 years ago, Blood. We don't remember.
I don't remember.
It is Mario versus Donkey Kong.
Oh, that charted?
11th place.
Crazy.
Wow, I'm shocked by that.
Hey, it says the words Mario and Donkey Kong. Casual appeal right there. They probably just like, yo, Mario movie, Mario
Yeah.
Donkey Kong. There's a game about them.
That just sells.
Yeah.
They
is that
hanging
game
out being
good?
bros.
Is that game
Oh, it's a
good?
puzzle game.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't seen the remake. The original I liked.
Huh. I was intrigued by it. I almost got it.
Infinite Wealth.
Uh,
Oh yeah.
I don't think we have it.
What?
Dang.
Oh,
What?
sorry.
No.
Did you
What?
say where Tekken 8 went to?
Tekken's
Since
at
it was,
5.
okay, that's a good sign.
Where's Madden and COD and all that?
Yeah, where
Modern
goes-
Warfare 3 is at 3rd place.
All right.
EA Sports FC is at 12th place.
God, what a message. Hey, our game's not great, but it keeps selling, so fuck it.
I think Madden's at 6th.
No.
To be fair, Modern Warfare 3 has had a nice little turnaround. better now than it was.
What are the other two? Is Minecraft still going to be on there, right?
16th.
All right, and Elden Ring,
14th.
best-selling game.
Ah.
Okay, the year before. All right.
And
still on there.
WWE is this month, so that
Yeah.
won't be
Yeah,
much
that
again.
just came out, so we'll see
Okay.
that chart next.
What are the ones we missing? I feel like we're only missing like a handful at this point.
Yeah, we got a couple more Ubisoft games in there.
Mirage?
So wait, no.
Prince of Persia.
Did Prince of Persia stay on the list, or did it fall off?
No, Prince of Persia's gone.
Ouch.
Oh,
Then
yeah,
go back.
Avatar.
Avatar. Yeah.
Avatar's the 20th.
Avatar.
Thanks, Red
dude.
Sky. That was Red Sky.
Don is
Holding
stoked.
on.
Don is so stoked.
Holding on.
Skull and Bones
Dawn.
and
Winning with
Avatar.
Skull
Yes,
and
the
Bones.
month of Dawn here.
Yeah.
And then 19th is Rainbow Six Siege back in.
Whoa.
Oh, yeah.
Pulling back up in there.
I was gonna ask about like City Skylines 2 or something. Magic working right now. Did it come back in the charts?
So that was almost everything, but we'll run it down so you get it all in order. 20th place was Avatar. 19th is Rainbow Six Siege. 18th is Mortal Kombat 1. 17th is Mario Kart 8. 16 is Minecraft. 15 is Super Mario Bros. Wonder.
Yeah.
There. Okay, forgot about that.
I love you, Mario Wonder.
14 is Elden Ring. 13 is Spider-Man 2. 12 is EA Sports FC 24.
It's in the game.
11 is Mario vs. DK. 10 is Hogwarts. 9 is Persona 3. 8 is the Final Fantasy VII Remake and Rebirth Twin Pack. 7 is Suicide Squad. 6 is Madden. 5 is Tekken. 4 is Skull and Bones. 3 is COD. 2 is Rebirth. And 1 is Helldivers.
Helldivers.
You'll get caught up in love.
Helldivers.
All right, Damiani. We got booted by a thunderstorm and a tornado warning last week.
Yep, and my car got a lot of hail damage that I've been trying to deal
no.
with. not fun.
Yeah, I've never had to deal with actual hail damage, even though I've had a little bit of hail here.
I
and
mean,
there.
it's a pain in the ass, and if I end up doing it, I'm gonna be without a car for like multiple weeks. So it's
Yep.
like, great.
Stay safe down there.
Body shops
don't-
do not care. They will just keep it.
Well, my parents told me to, like, after I get the estimate, to not do the repair right away because they're like, yeah, thunderstorm season's going to last for the next, like, 2-3 months. So, like, why don't we wait till it's over before you do any repairs since I don't have easy access to safe parking.
Do you
yet.
at least get a
So-
rental with your?
Nope, it's not covered. You have to get rental insurance I use Geico. So you need a separate rental insurance policy to have rental provided and
That
covered.
sucks. Yeah, that's a big.
Rent car insurance in America sucks right now, worse than ever, and prices are out like through the roof. So
Weird. Mine has been fine, so just cross my fingers it doesn't change. Unicorn Overlord.
I want to play this game so badly.
Yes.
oh heck
I want
yeah.
to play.
Unicorn Overlord. This is so yeah, I was like, oh, Damiani, one of the reasons you're not playing these other games, because yeah, I've now put like 40 plus hours
Nice.
Oh yeah.
into this game.
So hyped.
And it is, yeah, like after first playing it, like I think I played the demo and then I was like, yo, I want to keep playing this. And then we got the code and I was like, I'm just going to keep playing this because this is really good. And I love Fire Emblem. It's not really Fire Emblem. It has like essence of Fire Emblem. It's probably more like the Tactics Ogre series that I really have not touched that series, but it is more in the vein of that. But it is this giant tactical role-playing game, medieval fantasy setting. You are like leading an army, going across continents. You're like liberating countries, recruiting people, big battlefield. So everything, it's not grid-based. Like if you're thinking like an SRPG, it is like a nice looking vanillaware, beautiful art all over the place. The game is like gorgeous. And these battlefields are just like these nice, like overworld map looking environments that you just, they call them stages. It have scores and everything at the end. It's kind of funny. You don't get like a ranking, but like the better points you get, the more you get other certain types of currencies. But anyway, each fight is basically called a stage, and they section off a part of the overworld map, and your fight is there. And you basically have your rallying point, your base, and you have like conditions you have to meet, like capturing the enemy rally point, or rescuing this person and escorting them, or preventing someone from escaping the environment. And everything is real time when the action begins. So you see your units moving across the map. You like, just like you'd think like in a tactical game, you highlight the character, you select where they want to move, and you can path it. So you can do like a straight path, and they will literally just try and go there. They're environmental hazards, so sometimes it's not the best thing. You can, adjust pathing to make it a little bit more, avoid things. And then once you actually engage an enemy unit, it transitions into this battle scene, the side scrolling perspective with your enemy side and your side. You no longer have any control at that point. At that point, it just plays out based on your party comp, the skills you have, and like buffs and stuff that applied through your gear that you have. And all of that factors in, and it plays out. You see it in real time play out. And if the side that does the most damage wins, basically. So it's not even you have to like defeat the enemy in that turn. You either win, lose, or you draw. So if you win, you knock that enemy unit back, and then they are on like a little bit of a cooldown before they can move again. And then you have like the upper hand and can like rush them again and finish them off. Conversely, if you lose, you get knocked back and you can't move. You can't physically move, but you can still take action. So outside of combat, you have how everything works is you have to spawn your units, and you have this currency in the top left of the screen. These like little like gems, these gold gems that you have. And you start with a finite amount at the beginning, and as you perform better, as you defeat enemy units, you accrue more. As you capture bases, you accrue more. And each unit costs like one of those to spawn. So that's how you put units on the field from like your bases or from captured bases. And so that's like kind of like the strategy part is like, what unit do I want to deploy? Which do I want to deploy now? Do I want to seize this base? And that's a better point to launch this unit from. And so if you like lose in a battle, or you have one of your bases captured, you lose some of that as well. So like you kind of like can lose that currency. It's only a currency that applies in battle. Outside of combat, it has no use. But also you can use items as well. So you can like heal. You have stamina. So each unit has every time they take a turn, like engage combat, they have a number above their head. It goes down by 1. And if they get to 0, they can no longer physically move either. And so you can either rest them, and there's like a little cooldown clock around the unit, but they're super vulnerable during that. If you get like attacked during that, you might as well like be dead. So you can burn through your items to try and keep your units alive, but on the harder difficulties, they're more restrictive with item usage. So you're on the easier ones, it might not feel like too much of a threat, but like on the harder difficulties, you really gotta think that through, because losing a fight or running out of stamina at an inopportune time is really going to be detrimental. There is no permadeath except for a hidden difficulty unlocked when you beat the game. It's a special mode which has
Not hidden
permadeath.
anymore.
I mean,
It's a joke. I'm kidding.
I don't know what. Yeah, I guess like the thing is like for you,
I'm
Huber, I don't know
kidding.
why it's not unlocked at the beginning.
Yeah.
It was a little weird. They have multiple difficulties though. I will say there's the normal difficulty was probably a little too easy. If you played Fire Emblem, maybe play normal for just like a little bit to get used to the real time tactics of a fight. And then after like maybe an hour, you should probably crank it up to the next highest, like to the tactical difficulty, because
Is there a recommended
you're just going to steamroll.
or is it?
Says tactical is recommended for people who are familiar with strategy RPGs or tactical RPGs. Normal is for people who are maybe beginners, who maybe only played one or none. Then there's stories like I just want to enjoy this story, and then I think there's one above tactical. It's like this is like really brutal. And then there's the one you unlock when you beat the game. It's like there's just now it's that one plus permadeath.
Yeah.
Someone dies, they are out. But if they die in a battle, you can't revive. So let me explain this. Your unit. You start as you have these units. I forget how many you can have up at a time, but each unit is comprised of a 3x2 grid in the menu, and you can place units on that grid, and that's like your team basically. You have multiple teams, your squad basically, and you start off with only being able to have 2 people in a squad, and as you earn this currency called honor. Which is like rewarded for doing side quest activities, battles, all sorts of activities. You go to these fortresses and you can expand your squadrons to up to 5 people in the 3x2. It looks like you can have 6, but it actually caps you at 5. And then how you place them in the formation also impacts how they play in battle. So like a ranged archer, you do not want them in the front line. You want them in the back line behind like your big shield knights, or you want maybe some thieves in front with high agility because they're just going to dodge everything and they're going to be focused, but everyone's going to be whiffing the attacks. So your back line just has like, free reign to like unleash when the other enemy units spend all their points. And there are like 2 point systems like AP and PP that kind of give you guidance on how actions are used. And you can go into a menu, look at each unit, individual character. You can customize their gear. They have 1 weapon, 1 like defensive thing, and 1 accessory slot. When you promote them to their advanced jobs, they get a secondary accessory slot. So 2 accessories. And you can tinker with that, but then they have a tactical menu which shows all their special abilities, and you can make a priority system for how they will play out and ensure that there's enough of those AP or PP points to be available to use them. And then you could further set. It's like gambits in Final Fantasy 12 or modifiers, where it's like if this happens, do this instead. Like prioritize that. You can get really deep into that. I really didn't have to tinker with that too much, but I do know on like people are saying like on the hardest difficulty or some of the harder challenges, you might want to tweak a little bit of that. There is a brief tutorial that goes through it, but I didn't really have to dive too deep into that to finish the game. I maybe on the one with permadeath, you might want to like mess with that a little bit more, but it is there for the depth that you want if you want that. What else? Real quick on battles. I mean, do you have any questions so far, or
not yet? I think I'm following along pretty well.
Okay, battles can be as simple as just go defeat the enemy commander. We said some of the things, but they're also environmental hazards, and they evolve over the course of the game. They're like magical mines that like you'll get pinballed between them, and like you hit them the wrong way and get hit into multiple of them, your units is done. And it's hilarious watching yourself just like bounce around like that. There are like barricades that units will just bump against and take damage while you're damaging them. But then you might want to send out a unit who maybe has an ability to like annihilate them in like one attack. So there's also flying units that can fly over those hazards altogether, go over water. There are stages of like water and other similar that you can burn stuff and have like area of effect stuff like flames or healing like kind of like rain stuff. There's also like a lightning cloud thing you can summon. There are these statues in some battlefields that are like you can pray to them and trigger certain effects in the battlefield. That's like you can summon a tornado and send it through like a horde of enemies and like knock them out of the path to like clear a path. Like if you don't want to fight them, it's like, you know, knock them out of the way so like a stronger unit can just like beeline for like the commander and not have to deal with that. So I don't have to like waste stamina. And then like there's watchtowers, so like your like range can get like a better. There's also fog of war stuff. Like there's a blizzard stage at one point where you can't see anything, but you can use items. Like you can use items to make your unit speed like double, to like select a part of the map. I just want to see it, even though I can't see it. So there's a lot you can really do in battle in terms of like the strategy part, but like the combat part. If you're looking for any kind of like real-time input, it's all pre-done in the menus essentially, and the battle just plays out.
Right.
I will say, as beautiful as it looks, about like 5-ish hours into the game, just like I do in Fire Emblem, I just hit the start button to skip the battles. I'm like, sorry. Like, I just want to see the result. Like we got it. Like this game's still took 40 hours doing that. I was like, let's keep it moving. But yeah, like there's the jobs, like I have it up here, like my like character list of like different like jobs you have. You have like so many different jobs. Like you have like lords, priests. You have like doom knights. You have like these like angel. There's like different races too. So you have these angels, like that like fly, but they also like have like magic and like archery. You have like casters, like you have druids. You have warlocks. You have Valkyria. You have like knights, all types of knights, like the Sainted Knight. There's like even rangers have so many different ones. Like there's like Longbow Ranger, like there's Snow Ranger. There's Wyvern Masters. I mean, there's like this one unit. What are they? Where are they? The unit called Amalia. This is called Dreadnought. Absolute unit. It's like she towers over everybody. Like Andre the Giant over everyone. It just like walks in and everyone's just like, holy shit. And I was like, and like to get her, you have to go through this. There's a Coliseum in the game.
Nice.
And like one of the early continents, there's a Coliseum with all these ladder battles. You got to go up and like you have these challenges. So part of it is like figuring out the tactics, figuring out the positioning of your units. Now in combat, before you engage the battle with an enemy unit, you can change the positioning of your unit. So it's like it shows you Fire Emblem style or strategy RPG style what the expected outcome is going to be based, on no crits and random variables. So if it doesn't look like it's gonna go your way, you can try and tinker with that as well. So yeah, it sounds like it's a lot to keep track of, but they like slowly ramp it up, which is really nice. And it just builds up to more and more complicated battle scenarios, like really good environments in the game. Like you have like there's like 5 major continents, and within each, it's just the fact that it's like seamless, and the exploration factor in this game is really good because there's so many secrets in the overworld map. Besides just like finding new battles, and the flexibility you have to go in kind of any direction as you explore a new like continent or country. You come across like the main battles, but you can also come across like side battles just to liberate a town. Then there are side quest battles where you can potentially see deeper dives into like characters tied to that country. And obviously, yes, there's recruiting. There are recruitment conditions. And one of the best things early on, I didn't know how far I was going to play in this game, so I kind of went like dark mode early. I was executing people left and right. I was like, yo, I want to join your thing, but I was doing some bad shit. I'm like, execute them, die. It's like they're dead. I'm like, oh shit. Later on, I'm like, crap, I need more people. Shit.
Yeah, that's one of the things I was actually wondering is like how much it, and those terms, how much is like Fire Emblem and like the individuality of your units. It does look like everyone has a name at least, but I don't know if like they're all people that you want to try to hold on to, or if there are people you would consider cannon fodder. Or
so the one real kind of interesting issue you run into is like early characters, even characters I was using a lot. as you get to further areas, just higher level characters are dropped on you. And I feel like, okay, they're just immediately more useful to winning a battle than these characters I put a lot. Like the core unit that I had of like the main characters kept up pretty nicely, but juggling, like I do feel like they do a good job of introducing you new types of characters and story reasons to kind of bunch people up. Now, obviously you can mix and match as you want, but like the first new country I went to, there was like a resistance movement there. So I put all the resistance members together. Like, yo, I want them teamed up. This is cool. And then I went to like the elf forest area. I'm like, yo, I want all the elves teamed up. And then for Huber, I went the northern snow area. It's like they're called bestrels. It's all these like animal warriors. Dude, bears with giant axes and hammers, dudes, versus like werewolves and these like were-owls. And then there's like this like demonic mouse dude. I was like, wait, what? Like, I was like, okay. And then, yeah, it was pretty crazy. And like,
Are you sure it wasn't an optimistic rat?
Nah, was not. I almost said Mickey Mouse, a nod to a Dark Souls meme from back in the day. They do a good job of that, and then like you go to like the Holy Land where like all like the angelic race people are, and you put them together, and like you don't have to do that. You can mix and match in a good way if you're kind of curious about like, well, I'm just playing this by myself. What comps are really that good? Because it seems a little overwhelming. In the Coliseum, there is an online component because, as I said, you just form your unit, your squad, and then you send them into battle. So it's asynchronous. So you just like put it out there and like it just takes the data and you just fight against like the data and then it gives you the result. You can see what other people who are ranked at the top, what units they're using. And like they're just mixing up random people and like it's all about the tactics and the gear. There's a high ranked person just has two people and like the diagonal opposite like of the board they're on, and I was like, okay, it's just two dudes. I'm gonna like destroy this and like defeat. I was like trying so many times, like what is going on? Like their setup was just like disgusting. I was like, because of their tactics and the gear they were using, they just had a system that like they just countered everything. Where OP was like, that's insane that you could like figure that out. So there's definitely depth there. Economy early on, like I felt like buying stuff I didn't like have, spending on gear. I had to be very picky on items as well. Spending my honor, like when you get to the point where you can choose between promoting units or expanding your squadrons, it's like, which do I do? I remember streaming, asking chat, it's like, oh crap, what should I do, chat? And they're like, you have to like decide. And I was like, all right, that's kind of interesting. And then like resource gathering, there's so many like resources you can gather on the map that you just use to rebuild towns. So there's all these like demolished towns across like each map, and they'll ask you to turn in resources to rebuild them. And when you do, it obviously gives you like honor. Oh, I forgot the system because I maxed it out already. I forgot what it's called. You have a reputation meter as well, and you rank up, and you are locked out of expanding your squadrons to a higher level until you hit certain reputation ranks as well. And so doing all these activities increases your rep as well. So you want to like do that too. And by rebuilding these towns, that also contributes to building up your reputation in the game. But there's like a lot of hidden shit, like just like hidden islands, hidden like, like because of how the map is laid out, it's 2D. They're like hidden like layered paths that you like just stumble upon. I'm like, wait, where am I going? It looks like I'm behind a mountain right now. Where am I going? Oh, I'm in this like kind of like cove over here by the ocean, and like, what is this statue? And they have like puzzles, or not really puzzles, like light puzzles. Like you have to like listen to like a statement on a quest, and it's like figure out the order you need to like activate these statues. I mean, it's not the most like enlightened side content, I will say, but it is something like there to do to give you some side activity. And there's also mining. It's a mini game. It's like you have like a time limit, and then you like hit the ground and it makes like a circle AoE. And if there's anything in the ground, it'll show you like an arrow, and it'll get like will go from green to red the closer you are, and it has like a little like swinging meter where like the middle's where you want to hit, but and you hit the like,
Skull and
edges,
Bones.
it's like worse.
Skull and
Like,
Bones.
oh yeah, like Skull and Bones.
First minigame.
And the more, and you have a meter you build up as you do well that you can like, it shows your AoE circle around you expands, and you can hit a button to just like instant like pound the ground and like knock everything out of it. And some of them are like more time, so like it's kind of like it's a mini game.
Yeah.
And those give you like treasure maps that you can then go out, and it's kind of like identify this part of the map and see where you need to go and get a cool weapon or get some more rare resources. And there's just a lot. There's maybe too much gear in this game, honestly. But you have so many units. It's like I was just like, give me all the gear and like figure it out later. So yeah, and music, really good music.
yeah.
Story, it's pretty standard fare. It's like more of a traditional style Fire Emblem story, like basic politics. It's basically an evil dude and wants to like take over the world, and then it's like in the beginning he conquers the world, and like you're trying to lead a resistance army and to retake the world from this evil dude. And it's not like it's decent, but I felt like some of the more individual stories were a little bit more had a little bit more depth to them. But even that, like, I don't think anything was like too standout narratively. If that's like one chief complaint,
Right.
is that the story is kind of plain and basic, I feel like. But it does have good voice work, as I said, like good audio, good voice. Although some of the voice recording sounded a little like muffled or something. So I don't know if there was like an issue with the capture studio they used for the recording equipment. But other than that, like, delivery was pretty good and solid, I would say. Yeah. Some really interesting animations, idle animations, I will say that. The witches have like looks like they're just literally doing a sexy dance in their idle animation. They're like some really good character designs. Lot of big boobs, a lot of jiggling big boobs, I will say. It's Vanillaware, so they have that. A lot of ass.
I was gonna say this game is
ass.
shockingly not as pervy as some of their other games.
It really isn't. It's still there. If you're wondering, there still are elements of it, but like I think the overwhelming majority is not that though. And the depiction of the characters in various roles, they're just like it's very. I will say I feel like it's very inclusive on that angle. It's just they still have a little TNA in there because I think they just want to have it.
I mean,
So,
hey,
there you
whatever.
go. Yeah. I was like, okay, it's like not everywhere, so like it's fine. It's like cool.
Nice. Any other thoughts, questions? Right. Also this
You
week.
nailed it, Damiani. Nailed it, dude. This and Persona 3 are the two games I want to play the most.
I got a pile. Big old pile. Also this week, Something Wicked Games has laid off the majority of its team. They started in 2022. They were working on an RPG called Word Song. That was kind of teased, I think, in Gamescom that year.
Games. Calm.
So far, I didn't check again and follow up on this morning, but so far there wasn't a lot of details other than some comments from a few folks that were let go. But they were like announcing new team members just like a few weeks ago. So it seems like it feels like one of those things that seemed like it came out of nowhere, but who knows? Maybe there'll be more details out there soon. A little bit even contentious. IGN has reportedly laid off 3 staff members, including a guy who's been there for like more than 10 years, without any discussion with the new union over there. I heard a thing that were saying that like, oh, this was something that was in the works before the union was approved, and like, what is that supposed to mean? Real mess over there. They're waiting to hear back from leadership and going through the process of all of that stuff. According to the union, the company is not in any kind of economic trouble. They said it was a choice, not a need, in their statement. And they have 7 open positions that they're hiring for that these guys could be qualified for And rather than try to say, hey, we need you to do something else, they're like, well, we're just going to let you go.
I mean, it's like why they make new shows now that are a continuation of old shows, because then you can pay the people less.
Mm-hmm.
So someone who's been working there for 10 years
Right.
versus a new hire, it's ridiculous.
Yeah. So, and there's a lot of craziness going on there. So hopefully they can untangle that mess. Similar mess at Kotaku. Editor-in-chief Jen Glennon has resigned, citing differences in direction with the current owners at Geo Media. Quote, I firmly believe that the decision to invert Kotaku's editorial strategy to deprioritize news in favor of guides is fundamentally misguided given the current infrastructure of the site. This decision is directly contradicted by months of traffic data and shows an astonishing disregard for the livelihoods of the remaining writers and editors who work there. According to Aftermath, a source close to the situation said that Kotaku staff will be expected to create 50 guides a week
What?
at the site.
Yeah.
They don't even have staff that really specializes in guides writing. It's basically like the owners just have no
Guides?
idea what they're asking for.
Guides are the live service of a genre of journalism.
I mean,
Guides just continually get traffic forever. They're chasing that.
Yeah. But that's the thing, is that's not what people go to Kotaku for.
Yeah.
And so they're trying to convert Kotaku into
My goodness.
a guide site. And
Oh my goodness.
we'll see. Also, there's some speculation that they may be like looking to farm that stuff out real cheap. Copy
I mean, they would
paste
have
jobs,
to.
AI jobs.
It
yeah.
wouldn't be temporally possible to do that many guides in a week.
That is
Right.
insane.
And still report actual.
Yeah, do all that and your regular job.
I guess the upside is they won't spoil shit in their headlines as much.
But no, that goes back to guides. That's the same. That's the
I
same
guess, yeah.
call,
Yeah,
basically.
shoot.
They
We
will
must prevent
probably
them
do
from
more of
knowing
it.
what happens in games at all costs.
There are more reports starting to fly around about a PS5 Pro.
Yeah, baby. Sign me up. GTA 6. Let's go.
We're gonna wait for the real details before we dig into it. But one of the biggest things that people are talking about is PSSR, PlayStation Spectral Super Resolution,
Whoa.
which would be similar to like DLSS from Nvidia.
Didn't they just come out with that like slimmer new SKU?
Yeah, that was last year. They replaced the PlayStation model with the newer one with the 4 plates.
Yeah.
Give me all the power.
This would be for the end of this year.
Give me all the power for GTA 6. Nothing else matters in life. There's no point except getting GTA 6.
Chances of me buying a mid-gen, pretty slim. Pretty slim.
That's right.
I didn't buy a PS4 Pro.
Really?
I
That's
only had
crazy.
a Xbox One X because they sent us one.
For me, it's just like such a necessary purchase because I play more than 2 or 3 hours of video games every single day of my life. So if I'm playing this many games every day, why not? It's like the most important
With
thing
few
to me in
exceptions,
my entire
it played
life.
pretty fine on a PS4.
Yeah, but it's not.
The only one
The
is like
best.
control was pretty rough.
Yeah,
But
it just makes sense. With like, you gotta just weigh how much it means to you and how much you play.
sure, you also have to weigh that you're going to be spending another $500.
When I got
like
the
3
PS4
years.
Pro, I sold my old PS4, so it was really only like 200 something bucks.
And that's
total.
why you're holding my PS4 hostage. To
Oh, I
play
gotta give that back to you.
PT.
I gotta give that back to you. No, but it makes sense too because it's like if you trade in your old one and it's only costing you a couple $100, I mean, over the course of that many hours, over
Sure.
that many years, like to me,
If you have the cash, sure.
of course. I mean, that's with everything. That's video games in a nutshell. Video games are a luxury. So, I don't know. I think it makes sense.
Roll This, beautiful game. I don't know if you remember this. I talked about it, previewed it at a Summer Game Fest like 2 years ago, I think. Animal Well.
Yeah, this one looks sick.
Yeah, it does. And it's one of those games where I like really wished I had gotten more time with it than the demo allowed, because there's just so much to dig into and mess around with in this game. But it's been in development for 7 years.
7 years.
If you're listening to this, you don't know what this looks like. It's like very pixely in a very like modern way, and like glowy, and
What was that one game
It
we
looks
played
like a
that's co-op?
CRT.
Yeah,
built
it looks
into
like that other game.
What's that co-op game we played? It looks exactly like this.
Karma Zoo?
Oh,
What was it?
Karma Zoo?
No.
Karma
I
Zoo,
mean,
yeah.
that's one, but there's something even before that, like a pixel platformer that looked very like the bubble part looks very similar.
Looks really
know.
cool.
yeah, there's a lot of interesting effects that
Whoa.
that he's got in this, and it's coming out May 9th. Finally has a release date. PC, PS5, Switch. It's one-man developer, Billy Basso. He's done the art, music, code, design, and he also talks about it just kind of mashes in all kinds of different genres. So it's like side-scrolling exploration, lots of secrets, but there's also, he says, virtually no combat, and none of the typical items you would get from like a Metroidvania, but lots of puzzles. But it's not really a puzzle game. But so it's just,
That's funny.
but it's very interesting and creative, and you kind of discover things as you run into them.
Yeah.
So
Sure.
lots of little hidden passages, even just the demo I did.
Sick.
This one's for Isla.
Hell yeah, it is.
Play this. Cyan Worlds is working on a full-on remake of Riven.
So cool.
Which we knew about already, but it's cool to have the like signs of life, you know?
Proof of life.
Proof of life. And it's coming to 2D and VR.
Yep.
Very cool.
Yep.
Some good looking metal on here.
Full-on 3D walking around environments and stuff. New puzzles. Expanded storylines.
That's good because Riven has some obtuse puzzles.
Yeah, that'd be interesting to see of the ones that are still there. What changes, right?
I mean, yeah, I've beaten every Myst game, and I would probably say Riven is the hardest. It has some pretty.
So I would never finish it, is what you're saying.
There's a couple of brick walls in there that I remember being like, "What is happening?" Like, yeah, but I assume that they'll change that. Myst VR is cool. It gets hard. I hope a change I would suggest. I don't know if they made it for Myst. I know they were doing all kinds of updates with it. Like they put in the hand tracking stuff, which was cool. But like an in-game note keeping.
Oh right, yeah.
Thing, because like taking the visor off to write down numbers and dates and like stuff for puzzles.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a little tricky, but yeah, I loved it.
Huber. Alpha Protocol is back.
Love that game, dude. One of the best sevens of all time. Full stop.
Yeah. So it's been delisted
Yeah.
for a while now.
Yeah.
It's back now on GOG
Hell yeah.
exclusively.
That game is so cool. Again, that's another formidable swimming in sevens because it's just like it really does some weird stuff. It's so rough around the edges, and that is what I love about swimming in sevens is like
It's been gone
they're
for a while.
rougher-
Remind people what this game is.
yeah, you're like a spy, and there's a little like immersive simness, and there's like dialogue choices and just weird like stealth and combat, and it's just it's not like it's a game I love, the Deadly Premonition. It's not like Deadly
yeah.
Premonition weird, but it's just like it's kind of a weird game, you know?
Yeah, and it's Obsidian.
Is
Yep.
it like
Yeah.
Indigo Prophecy, or is it less like story?
It's kind of, it reminds me a little bit of that, but more like more action-y,
Oh, okay.
less dialogue-y.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like more combat and stealth and stuff. But
Spy RPG.
yeah. Crazy.
SparPG.
I'm also curious what you think about this, Huber. WoW announced Plunderstorm.
It's cool.
limited time pirate-themed battle royale event that's taking place over the next few weeks.
Really cool. I'm 1.5 expansions behind though. The furthest I've ever been back in WoW. I'm just that I forget the name of it. What is it? Not the newest expansion, but the one before that.
Dragonflight was the new one.
Dragonflight. The one before Dragonflight
Okay.
killed my entire World of Warcraft career. I've been playing since beta.
Wow.
I've always strived to be fully caught up in WoW because it's one of the most important games to me, and it's one of the most important games of all time. So I've always wanted to be caught up to just be there for when this game inevitably ends. I want to be there for that moment if it ever ends. But I'm finding it hard to care about it over the last 4 or 5 years. So.
But you think?
This looks awesome. But again, I'm
this is
behind. I'm too far behind to. I would have to grind probably to.
just to be able to participate.
Exactly.
In the event.
Like that mode looks really awesome. I wish I could play that. I would totally jump in. But yeah, I'm not on the WoW train lately.
And
11 year anniversary for Warframe happening right now too.
Crazy.
Oh, nice.
Just saying.
20 years for WoW almost, right? 2004. 20 years. Yeah.
That's nuts.
Too long. Make WoW 2. We're over it.
It looks old.
God, seriously.
And I don't know why I threw this in here instead of the GDC, but during a talk at GDC this week, Larian founder Sven Vinke stated they will not be developing any major expansions for Baldur's Gate 3 or working on a sequel. No Baldur's Gate 4 coming from Larian.
So wild.
Next thing that they do is going to be their own thing.
Shots fired to WB, dude. It's
Dang.
we're not going to crank this out. And even though this game made a ton of money and a ton of awards, we're good for now.
Is it that or Wizards of the Coast that the shots are at?
Oh.
I just broke that news to Sophia. She's upset. She's upset. No DLC,
I don't
no
know, they just want to do
expansions.
something original? Maybe they just want to do something that's
He
different?
confirmed it, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, he said it there. They're not going to be doing anything with D&D for their next game.
Just for the next
then
game.
they probably just want to deal with that license and stuff. There's been some weird stuff. I think I don't play and follow D&D. All I know, it makes headlines for there were some issues in the last year with the licensing, and then their layoffs.
Right.
There's some issues with their layoffs at Wizards.
Is this a
and stuff,
don't nod situation, Bloodworth, where they make some insanely epic game but don't get enough of the pie? So they try to go make their own new IPs and publish their own things?
I don't think so. I think with Larian, even with the Baldur's Gate legacy, I think that legacy wasn't very far-reaching. Essentially, I feel like Baldur's Gate 3 was kind of in hibernation for a very long time. Then all of a sudden, it just started getting that word of mouth, right before it came out. Mm-hmm. It felt like nobody was paying attention to Baldur's Gate 3. It was going to be this sleeper hit.
We were.
And then all of a sudden, it was just the biggest thing there could be.
I remember the mindset was yo, this is gonna be GOAT.
Yeah.
Remember, we were this is gonna be GOATy. This is one of the best games possible. Early access, just wait.
Yeah. So I think that.
I think everyone was like that, where it's just oh, just wait till it's out.
I think the name brand of it is not as big of a factor, So I think it'll be very, very interesting to see what ends up happening with whatever Larian does next. Because they're obviously going to say, from the makers of Baldur's Gate 3, whatever it is.
Divinity Original Sin.
But yeah, will they stay in the Divinity universe? Will they make something new? Mm-hmm. Will they go in a completely different direction? Will they make some small games before they make something else that takes 7 years?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Crazy.
Yeah. And they made some side games to Divinity too. Remember that, the Dragon Commander game or whatever?
Yeah.
So, we will see.
Also, forgot one. Rockstar Games is funding Max Payne 1 and 2 remake,
Whoa.
which has a comparable budget to Alan Wake 2.
Okay.
Hype.
I actually just missed that one, but
Yes.
yeah. Nice.
Same budget as Alan Wake 2, where they said about. So very excited.
I guess I'm not sure I understand the distinction there because I would have thought Rockstar was funding it anyways, considering it was Max Payne. But
well, because they came in for Max Payne. No, I guess they were there. Yeah, I don't know. That's weird. Yeah. Who knows? Maybe they just because of Max Payne 3 or whatever and everything, they just like own that IP fully.
yeah, I mean that's Rockstar's IP.
Yeah, it's Rockstar's IP. So
Yeah, so that
yeah. So they would have. Yeah, it's weird. I don't know.
All right. Well, you heard it here. It's time for Love and Respect.
Love and respect.
And respect.
Tommyani's getting good at that.
Quick one.
You already forgot my trick.
From Soltab. Dragon's Dogma, dude. Actually, it says Dragon Dogma, dude.
Woo!
What's your palm party?
You change constantly.
Rotation.
Yeah.
Rotation.
Do you have anyone that you have an affinity to at the moment?
I mean, my own pawn. Everyone has their own.
Right, but I'm just saying,
pawn.
like, what you know, like a setup, any kind of go-to, you just constantly changing?
Yeah, because for very, very long, I mean, like the whole game, basically, you're, switching out your vocation, you're switching out your pawn's vocation. So when you and your pawn switch, then you want to recruit to, fill the ranks accordingly.
Yeah.
You always got to have a healer in there. Not always, but
actually, you really do.
it helps. I mean,
you
yeah,
really do.
it helps.
I've noticed that real quick.
Yeah, you want a mage.
Having that
Yeah.
healing bubble there is very
Yeah.
helpful.
Yeah, like I started as a thief and she was a mage, and
Yeah.
then when I was a duo spear, I think I made her a sorcerer, and then I hired a mage and probably an archer or something. You always want to balance it so that you've got a mix of. For a while now, I've been running with a mage and a sorcerer,
Dude.
and then like a fighter.
Have you done 4 mages at once? It is
Mages or sorcerers?
Mage.
No,
It is insane.
that's crazy.
It
I can
is-
see sorcerers being nuts too.
Yeah, because if someone's casting a spell, an incantation, and you go,
Oh, you power each other up, right?
Yes, it is. 4 mages is crazy. Check
That's
it out.
That sounds like
such
something
a
to play with.
cool
It's
idea.
fun. It's very fun. It's very.
I
fun.
know that it's fun when the pawns are like, "I'll cast the same thing as you to power your magics."
Yeah,
you know. Oh
Nice.
God, fuck! I love that game.
so good.
Yeah, so my main character is Beastrin named Ragnos.
Dude.
It's got some like
Wait, that's your character or your pawn?
my main character.
Okay. Oh,
And right now I started as Thief.
Yeah.
But yeah, I haven't started playing with the other vocations yet.
Okay.
My pawn is an older mage named Priscilla.
Okay.
And
I'm
then
gonna look for her.
what's that?
I'm gonna look for her.
Yeah. Well, you can on the
I
stone.
think
You
I've
can
seen
search
her.
for friends.
I saw her in
Yeah.
there. I saw her in there, blood.
Nice.
Very cool.
Yeah, I've already gotten a couple rewards for her. She's been out
fun.
there.
That's fun.
And then and I've got Isla's mage, Valfreya.
You saw her. Okay, I was gonna say you saw her real name, right? Not her moniker.
Right.
Yeah, Valfreya.
And then I've got like I said, I've got that like white-haired knight named ZZ.
ZZ.
Looks like just like a female Geralt, straight
Nice.
up. It's like okay,
So Siri.
yeah, kind of, yeah, but it's the hair is definitely more Geralt.
Nice.
I
Awesome.
saw somebody's pawn's name was just subscribe, and I was like, all right.
There's been a Kratos one like wandering.
Oh,
and
yeah,
I see
I've
the
seen a
Kratos
few.
one everywhere I go. Kratos is just
Wait,
walking
isn't that
around.
Mitch's?
Probably. I've seen like 2 different ones.
Because I'm
actually.
pretty sure when I was looking through, it was like you and Isla and Mitch were the ones that
so
showed up.
funny.
Yeah,
That's funny. What's yours named, Huber?
Smoky.
yeah.
I've
And it's
probably
a
seen him
Beastrin.
too. I've probably
my
seen
old-
him.
My old
Sometimes I limit it to. I've never hired a male. Pawn,
Yeah, they told
so-
me.
Oh yeah, they'll tell you that all the time.
Valfreya told me.
They'll tell you that all the time.
It's like for some reason, one of my former masters never hired or only hired women.
Well, to each their own. They'll say
It's so funny.
it's so good.
I want to play right now.
Ogres fiend out when women are around. So whenever I fight an ogre, it's kind of wild.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they go crazy for women.
Oh, that's wild.
Yeah.
From Brandon K. Gann, Hello, everyone. After 125 hours, I have finally rolled credits on Final Fantasy VII Rebirth.
Good heavens.
That is a sprint right
that
there.
That is a huge
125
game.
hours already on that game. Woo!
It's a great game.
With a small list
It's a great game. Shout out. Final Fantasy Rebirth, Dragon's Dogma 2. It just feels so good.
Yeah.
The year of the RPG.
Maybe it feels good for you. I have no chance. I haven't
Infinite
even started
Wealth?
Rebirth, really.
Yeah, I'm going to stop like trying to 100% rebirth and just go story mode.
Oh, yeah. I've started
Glorious.
Rebirth. I've started Ronin. I've started Dragon's Dogma. Well, I actually kind of haven't started Rebirth because I just did the thing for the bet for the tutorial box. That's all I did.
Yeah.
Oh,
So I haven't seen anything. Like stopped at like the gate of.
Do we get 17 next or Rebirth 3 or a different remake like a 9 or
I wouldn't
something?
be surprised if they finished
for Final
7
Fantasy,
Part 3 first.
I would guess Part
Part
3
3?
would be.
Part 3 is going to be
first, would
17,
my
I think.
guess.
I like that. I like that theory. I think that's
Everyone
funny.
keeps saying that.
And then I'm still trying to finish Pacific Drive.
I have copium for you, Isla, and anyone still trying to maybe like that hasn't 100%ed Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. There's a theory going around that because of all the side quests and mini games and shit you do in it, that Part 3 is not going to have nearly like barely
Dude.
any because that's all of them. Like
I
that's the
would kind
majority of them, and it's
I
like
would- I found
so you did the
myself
legwork.
wishing that this game was not open world. Like I wish it was. I wish it was linear, because I love a lot about it. But like, Chadley, that little bastard's got to leave me the hell alone, dude. All I want to do is play Queen's Blood
I will say
and go on dates and do the story. Everything else can get lost.
I'm very happy that I think that Princess Peach and Pepper Grinder are going to be games that like I can finish in like
When's
2
Pepper
days.
Grinder?
It's like next
It's like
week.
right now, yeah.
I don't know. Princess
Pepper
March
Grinder,
is
But it's
dude.
supposed to be short.
Oh,
25
Pepper Grinder is
hours.
supposed to be short.
Okay.
So
Okay.
maybe even get into that game to beat in one night.
Yeah.
We'll find out. We'll find out.
Just clear your deck before Keeley Shadow drops Silk Song on all of us.
Well, we got the Elden Ring thing coming up.
Oh.
Oh
Yeah,
my
Elden
gosh.
Ring DLC is going to be like 400
There's
hours.
a new RPG every month, basically.
Exactly, which is like take your time.
Yeah,
Like it
400 hours
seriously,
with 300 of it dying to the new boss.
take your time. There's no rush. Take your time. It's too many good games, and they should.
There's a-
These games especially, like Isla says, though,
Unicorn.
you, like go at your own pace. Like if
Yeah.
you stop having fun, go through it. But also like, don't put unnecessary pressure on yourself
Yeah.
to get through it just to get to something else. Just enjoy the one you're
Yeah.
on.
That's 100% Pacific Drive right there.
Yeah,
It's like
Love
these
the one
games
you're
are
with.
too good.
you soak in that game.
Soak it
You
in.
do what you want to do. It was
Blood
funny
in the
because,
tub.
because
What?
Shuhei had tweeted that he'd finished it, and I'm like, oh yeah, I'm still like vacuuming up marsh eggs, and he's like, oh, I never got any marsh eggs, and I'm like, really?
Crazy.
Like you guys just play how you're gonna play.
Iodine Chronicles is in a month too? Good God.
Yep.
That's
crazy.
going to get buried, huh?
Huge RPG every month. It's crazy.
It is.
From Brandon K. Gann, though. Hello, everyone. After 125 hours, I finally rolled
I
credits
never even let him go.
on Final Fantasy VII Rebirth with a small list of tasks still to get through. And I don't think I've ever wanted to talk about a game more with, well, anyone more than Rebirth. And while I'm fortunate and grateful to a close friend wanting to chat for 3 hours as soon as I finished watching the final scene, it was nowhere near enough time. So this prompts me to ask you, what has been the game that you wanted to gush about with others more than anything else you've ever played? I'm talking about where it's almost physically painful to not seek out a friend or peer and just spend hours on end going over every detail.
I mean, yes, Rebirth was definitely one
Rebirth
of those.
was definitely one of those.
Because I was having it early, reviewing it. I was like, God damn, I need to talk. And so I was like, always like, where's Huber at? Where's Huber at? Because I'll just say the late game arena sequence. I was like, I was so tempted. I had to hold my hand from hitting enter on the enter key to say their names. I was like, no, don't let them know. Like, let them experience it. Don't hit enter.
God, I love that shit.
I was like, he's gonna go crazy.
I love
when he
it
sees
so
this.
much, dude.
I was like, But also, same thing with like with 16.
Yeah.
Because especially I knew people who were reviewing it, and I was ahead of them, and the 14 references, I was like, because they love 14, and I was like, oh my god, I just want to ask you, like, hurry up and get to this part so we can talk about it. It sucks.
The two recent ones that came to mind that I still can't talk about because you've played them. Or Sea of Stars.
Sea of Stars.
Especially like with some of the crazy stuff that happens towards the end of that.
Yeah.
Like there's a certain point that you get past in that game to where it's like just seeing like anything is a spoiler because of things that change.
Yeah.
And then Ultros is the other one too.
Sick.
Where it's like, man, like I really like want to like talk and break apart like how that game evolves, but like if you haven't gotten there, like I don't want to spoil because it's like I feel like you could finish that game and not realize that this whole other layer of stuff is even in there. If you just decide that you're not going to go for the trophies or whatever, then it's like, oh yeah, I finished it, I'm done. It's like, are you though?
Are you?
Are you done?
It's funny.
Dragon's Dogma 2, dude.
Dragon's Dogma 2.
Also, like Bloodborne was like that.
Yeah, every
Souls game,
every
every From
Soulsborne
game.
game ever, for sure.
FromSoft games are like the quintessential
Yep.
Water cooler game.
Yep.
Any others?
I love when people tell me they're playing The Evil Within 2.
Nice.
I will talk about that
The
forever.
Missing, I feel like I always want to talk about more than I get to. Because it's tough with that one because it's like you don't want to say you don't really want to say what it's about unless people know what it's about,
Yeah. Let's play a game. From Jiggy Diggs, can it Super Mario? Greetings, allies. Today it's time to flex those creative muscles and pitch a game for an existing IP in a new genre that it hasn't ventured into yet. The IP you'll be pitching is the world of Super Mario Brothers.
Mario roguelite. Done.
I will give 3 genres. The responsibility of the panel will be to choose a genre, then improv a pitch. The order the genres are chosen is the order the pitches will be given. After the pitches are given, you'll vote on your favorite pitch. Okay. So I guess maybe I'll put out the genre and then you can say whether you want to grab it. First-person shooter.
We don't get to know the other genres.
Maybe. If there's a first-person shooter, there's a Souls-like, and there's a survivor game like Vampire Survivors.
I'll do FPS then.
Yeah.
What do you want, Isla?
I guess I could do Souls
Okay.
unless you hate Vampire Survivor, and then I could.
Oh, I love Vampire Survivor.
Okay, yeah.
It was 10% too long, though.
That criticism. I don't know why I said it like a British woman, but that criticism is so bizarre to me.
Vampire Survivors?
Yeah.
Because there's credits. I wanted to see those credits. And then I was like, dude, I'm good.
That's not a game you see credits on.
100
That's a game you just play until you're tired of playing
No,
it.
Damiani knows what's
I've
up.
killed the thing too.
Yeah,
You
there's
just play it until you're done with it. Who cares?
I wanted to see the credits.
And now there's a bunch of DLC too. Game rules. I love that game.
Right, who's pitching a game here?
All right, here we go. So Mario first-person shooter, right? All right. So we're gonna do Yoshi's Safari.
I knew it. He knew.
Safari, yeah. Yoshi's
Brandon
Safari
Kagan
is
did not
coming
know, or not,
back.
Jiggy Diggs.
It's coming back. It's coming back. First-person shooter where Mario and Yoshi are teaming up, going through the wilderness of the Mario Mushroom Kingdom and shooting Yoshi eggs at everyone and everything they come across because everyone has just been infected by something that's made them deranged and evil. And we're not going to kill them, but we're going to, with the magic of Yoshi's eggs, you're going to knock some sense back into them, and you'll be able to like recruit them back to your side and have them as allies. Now, as you team up with this, once Mario gets knocked off, He's on his own until he can reunite with Yoshi, because Yoshi's going to run off and you have to find him. So once you're in first-person Mario mode, you have Fire Flower. You can shoot out fireballs for a limited time. You can use Cape Mario, where you can run up and melee and cape like slap
In first
enemies like with
person,
a
you
melee
just
thing.
lose-
Then like knock down. Then first person, you're going to spin around, baby. It's going to be nauseating, but
Yeah.
you're going to have to get used to it. And then back with Yoshi, you get different variants of Yoshi. So you get like flying Yoshi and shooting eggs over flying. You got explosive eggs. You got like eggs that do like sticky stuff to bind enemies. You got like and web eggs to make platforms, kind of like the spider in Donkey Kong Country. You can't remember its name. So you could do like through the first person platforming as well. And it is going to be not like seamless open world, but it's going to be like themed environments that you got to clear through. And I said the recruitment part of it, when you get enough like allies, when Mario gets knocked off, you could call them in as your perks, basically, to either rescue you, buy time, or when you're teamed up, you could call like an Akoopa Troopa airstrike, and they'll just drop in the shells and everything, and like blue shell baby coming down. It's going to be a big one.
Vampire Survivor Mario game.
I
Yep.
think I'm next.
Oh, you're next. Go, go, go.
Well, they said we had to do it in the order that we were told about them
Chill.
for whatever reason. Anyway, you've heard of Dark Souls. Let me introduce you to Dry Bones.
Yeah.
It is a Souls-like in the Mario universe where you play as a sword-wielding Dry Bones.
Sword wielding.
He has a sword in this, yeah.
What?
Yeah, it's a Souls-like, Blood. How are you going to Souls-like without a sword?
I mean, I Souls like without a sword.
The fuck are you talking about?
Magic user.
Okay, well, he can wield magic too, whatever. It's a, yeah, you know, the standard kit. But instead of when you die, instead of having to go get your souls, you have to get your bones. And if you get hit too many times, like you'll lose a bunch of parts of your body and you have to fight without them until you get them back. I think it would be cool. That's the end of my idea. Obviously, he's. I imagine he got like separated from the party, like from Bowser's like crew, and he's trying to get back. But then maybe at some point you can make like some sort of a like moral choice to like turn on Bowser and go to Mario's side or whatever.
I don't know if it would be cooler to fight Bowser in a Souls-like or play as Bowser in a Souls-like. I don't know what's
Yeah.
cooler, because that would be such a sick boss fight.
Some Bowser
Picture
fight like
the-
Rodon.
Yeah, dude.
Dude, picture the like art of a Dry Bones with a sword, like all
Yeah.
small, and then Bowser's like huge in front of him.
Yeah.
Like, that would be sick as shit.
He's so
Bowser
awesome.
descending
You're
from
like
the sky like
facing
a
him
meteor.
down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Luigi's Mansion in a Souls game? Come
Yeah, dude.
on.
Yeah, dude. You'll go through all of them. These
Jeez.
are all the stages. And they're all linked together. You know, we finally, for the first time, get to see how they all interconnect.
What is the item
Like, all of
description
them.
for the Fire Flower?
Oh, it's got like deep lore.
Deep lore.
Deep, mysterious.
So sick.
It refers to things that are not elsewhere referred to in the entire game, and you're just like, what is that? Yeah. There's some name on it, and you're like, who? Yeah.
Sick. Vampire Survivor Mario game? I mean, it's just a reskin.
Just a reason.
I mean, what else can
So
you
was
do?
Vampire Survivor.
Yeah, like what else can you do? I don't understand what could be like new or unique about that other than the weapons you pick up and use are from the Mario universe. So you have, your Fire Flower. You got maybe you can get like a cape and you can like fly above some enemies, but they can like bring you down or something. And the star.
You
But
could
it
have
can
a
only
circle-
procs every once in a while where you're invincible.
You could have a circle of booze as a weapon that's constantly circling you, but they
Oh,
only show up.
boo.
They only
Fantastic.
show
Not
up.
booze.
They only
Yeah,
show
but
up when they're
booze.
on the behind part of you, like wherever you're facing. They
No
don't
circle of alcohol.
No circle of
No
alcohol.
vodka.
can't get
All
a
right.
whole sentence out.
So which one are we going with? We got to vote. Were the other room listening?
I like Ilos.
No one was listening except for me. And you three.
I like Eyeless.
I'm hitting
Thank-
Damiani.
Only because I'm biased towards Souls-likes.
Damiani is very well thought out. But he also had extra time.
You went first.
I don't like the idea of spinning around in first person with the cape.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is going to make me sick, dude.
That's the
Yeah.
point.
That's the point.
Yeah, it's going to make me sick to my stomach.
Wait for the VR version.
And, dude, I'm just... Like, a Bowser Souls fight, Phase 2, dude. Phase 2 Bowser, he just, like, roars with flames coming out of everywhere. His freaking, like... the
Bowser?
SNES, his little airship, like, comes in for Phase
the
2.
clown.
Oh, that'd be
Dude,
sick.
that or an actual airship, and it starts like bombing you. You gotta like oh my god, I need it now.
I want to play this now. Too.
Yeah, I want to play that fight. I want From to just
So now
make
we have
that fight.
Huber's Souls pitch.
Huber's
that's what we end
pitching
up
my
with.
game. Yeah.
Yeah.
Too good.
All right, it's time for bets. This week's bet, Princess Peach Showtime, is out tomorrow. It's simple but not easy, as I said. How many enemies will spawn between the start of the game, when you can actually play, and Peach's first transformation? Again, when you can actually play. So, Huber, Stealthy
Yes.
Centipede, how many enemies will there be there?
Lucky number 7. But only on the come out roll, not when the point's established, because then you crap out and that's no good.
What's that?
Nothing.
Oh, okay. some gambling stuff. Damiani,
Some Otani shit.
the pompous Dr. Spain.
It's the new Yuji Naka, Damiani.
We did it.
Some Otani shit, dude.
What'd you say, Damiani?
I'm gonna go with 25.
25.
25.
Isla, the wet hummingbird.
I said 62.
62.
Yeah, I think
I like it.
You play a level of a
Yeah.
thing, and
Yeah.
That's
You know,
true.
Goombas just keep coming at you.
Yeah.
Full, first level, yeah.
yeah, I don't know.
I like it.
I've never played this game.
Dawn,
I went
fashionable
too low.
manatee.
Don, what's yours? 0.
0.
0.
I like it.
I mean,
Immediate transformation.
yeah, could work.
Maybe
We
only
said not
friendlies come up
cutscene.
to
We
you.
said outside of a cutscene.
Yep. Gabby, optimistic rat.
Gabby, what's yours? 4, as we recall from 4 hours ago.
Oh, right.
Score.
And me, as the effervescent hippopotamus, I said 38.
38.
Sneaking right in there.
Always, dude.
Always.
Always what?
Always being sneaky, bud.
Okay.
we just decide that no matter what you say,
No matter what his bet
you're
is.
being shystery somehow.
Yep.
Last
no
week-
matter what his bet is, it's
No
sneaky.
matter what, he's cheating somehow.
Last week's bet,
Blood Wolf.
Dragon's Dogma 2,
Woo!
out tonight.
Dragon's
Go
Dogma
team!
2. It's out in what, 30 minutes?
Yeah. 34
Uh,
minutes by this clock.
So I looked through the...
Wait, it's not out? Then how? I see a tweet that says Dragon's Dogma 2 on Steam has reached 173,000 players and is now Capcom's highest concurrent
It's out
user
right now already?
Hell
record
yeah.
for a single
I
player
guess it's
game.
out, dude.
All right.
Oh, yeah. Chat says it's out. Chat.
No.
could be
Nice.
regional
Why
stuff
are
too,
you
but yeah.
still here?
Yeah, get to dogmaing.
There it is. Anyways, I looked through the official Twitter account for Dragon's Dogma for videos posted between 4:30 p.m. last Thursday, March 14th, and 11:59 p.m. Wednesday, March 20th. And last week, I asked the panel what the total runtime would be if you combined all those videos for that week.
Darkness. Bind them.
Apparently, the Steam reviews are bad because the performance on PC is not good.
Huh.
Oh, I heard that about...
Play it on PS5.
Yeah, I heard it's choppy no matter what on PC, even with a
Ooh.
4090, they said.
I
4090.
saw. I saw the PC Gamer or somebody had a article that said like Dragon's Dogma 2 will take everything your PC has and still ask for more or something like that. I was like, runs great on fucking PS5. I don't know.
It felt good to me, yeah.
It felt fine.
It felt good,
Yeah,
everybody.
It's fine. Yeah.
It's an incredible video game.
So last week I asked the total runtime for all the videos that we posted to the Dragon's Dogma Twitter account during the past week. Hip Hop Gamer said
Legend. Shout out.
1 minute, 30 seconds.
Some maniac takes.
Shout out to Hip Hop Gamer, dude.
on Baldur's Gate 3, apparently.
What?
Never mind.
Huber said 4 minutes and 30 seconds.
That's too high.
Damiani was sheltering. Isla said 8 minutes and 12 seconds. Don said 5 minutes and 12 seconds. Gabby said 5 minutes and 1 second. I said 5 minutes and 23 seconds.
Sneaky blood.
Where did Ian McShane get us to, man?
No, Ian McShane we knew about before the bet.
Huh?
That's why the bet started at 4:30 because that went up at 4, but that also never went on that Twitter account anyways.
Oh.
That was a YouTube video. So the videos we had were 5 seconds, 4 seconds, 10 seconds,
Oh my god.
10 seconds,
Jesus.
36 seconds, 26 seconds, and 36 seconds, which brings it to 2 minutes and 7 seconds, which means the Hip Hop Gamer won that bet,
Hip Hop Gamer.
and the points went to me.
See, that's the cheat right there.
Yup.
That's the
He had the
bullshit right
choice.
there.
No, it
Nah,
was
you
never a
bribed him,
choice.
dude. You paid him.
Yep, it was never a choice.
You're using like hypnotic suggestion
Yep.
to be
I
like,
just used
you can
Glitch,
pick
that's
whoever
all.
you want. You what?
I used Plitch.
Glitch?
Which hype?
Oh, if you don't know about Plitch, you definitely, yeah, that's right, you missed.
I gotta
You were
use
not here.
Glitch for Darkest Dungeon too.
No, you
That's
don't.
where
No,
I'm
you
going.
don't. It's okay.
I don't
Alright.
know what that is.
That it's like Game Genie,
Oh, okay.
or like mods on PC, basically.
Oh, okay.
That brings our scores to Stealthy Centipede 5, Pompous Cocker Spaniel 3, and Effervescent Hippopotamus 3. Bloop, 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 bloop. Let me tell you about patreon.com/easyallies. This is how it is done. We are 8 years old today.
Hell yeah, that is today.
That is today.
Happy birthday!
Wow, dude, holy
Guys.
crap.
And then
birthday.
we're here for
Our
8
anniversary
years.
right now as we record this. 8
Yeah.
years.
I love how they're surprised
We
at
should
everyone.
probably tweet
Yeah.
about that.
Yes, we are 8 years old today because of generous viewers just like yourself who have decided that this is something that they want to keep going for us to come in and talk about video games and cover video games, talk developers, bring cool people in, write reviews, all the different things that we've done, go into crazy haunted houses.
Yeah, this was scary.
Yeah, all of that is because of supporters just like yourself. Because guess what? The guy that got them in a haunted house is also an Easy Allies fan. That's why that happened.
There it is.
That's what it is. Wherever you are, you like Easy Allies, and you're supporting us. Thank you so much. And at Patreon is the most effective way to do that. You can support us at $5 a month to get this podcast 2 days early with bonus Love and Respect questions. You get to submit to Love and Respect, all those games and everything there. And you get in our Discord where they're voting on those top 10s, voting on those top 10 battle themes.
Great one.
So, yeah, regular battle themes,
Yep.
regular enemies.
Never see it coming.
Oh my god.
$10.
Persona 5,
Yeah.
Dragon Quest 8,
Yeah.
Final Fantasy 7 Remake. Mm-hmm. Lock them in.
$10, you get to be a contributor, so you get to vote in Stream Team. There's a Stream Team poll up right now for next Tuesday. Also, Community Showcase, which moved back a week. We are going to do our anniversary celebration on the 2nd because of scheduling stuff. All kinds of craziness happened to push things around. It's happening on the 2nd. And then $25 and up are our producer tiers. $50 you get fan mail. $100 you get Brandon Jones to say stuff that you want to say. And our platinum producers get a shout out on this podcast each and every week. And this month's shout outs go to Jevwebs, Elthanis, Greg the Dark Knight Kettering, Raymond Willer III, and Forever Ender. Shout out.
Shout out.
Shout out.
All right, we got some things for you to check out. First of all, the Dragon's Dogma 2 review. Not done yet,
Coming up.
but it's coming.
It's in the pipe.
It's very soon.
It's been written. It's been voiced.
Yep.
It's coming.
Gotta cut that.
I just gotta cut it.
Probably get some pickup shots and some music.
I've been recording things to my PS5.
That'll help.
I don't know
Not
how to get-
great quality, but
Yeah, I don't know
maybe
if
if you
it'll
need
look-
something in a pinch,
I don't know if it'll look good, and I don't know how to get them off of there.
you can USB. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
should be able to. I think you can USB. Pretty sure.
I'll find out later.
We got a cool hip hop gamer video with Huber. You saw him last week, but we also got this other crazy video. These guys, they say one word and they just both freak out and hug each other. We've got Gabby running the other room to get props, all kinds of stuff. Yep.
That's great.
And that haunted house video we talked about. Do not sleep on that video. That is a really, really great time.
It's the coolest thing we've ever done.
So
It's
fun.
really cool.
Yeah, very tense, very cool.
Very tense.
And as I mentioned, that anniversary stream will be coming up, even though it's not today. It's not the official day of, but we're going to have it happen. We're going to be playing some games for like 8 hours. Hall of Greats is going to be in there. Community Showcase is going to be in there. And yeah, since I won that bet because of Hip Hop Gamer and Plitch,
Cheater.
I get to shout out anything or anyone that's been on my mind this week. I get a final word.
Social engineering, dude.
And I get to sign off with my trademark sign off. I'm still behind.
Just where you want to be, man.
Yep.
You're
Drafting
setting
us.
the trap, dude.
Yep.
Yeah, he's
drafting.
drafting us. He's setting the trap.
Yep.
Shout out to everyone at GDC. I wish I would have been there this week. Just couldn't make it this year. So just definitely been watching those streams and photos and all of that stuff from afar. I put on Twitter last night. It's like, for everyone that I missed, yes, this is my last name, and I am 6'6" tall. Those are the things that come up all the time.
Yep,
You
yep.
go around meeting new people.
Yep.
All that stuff.
Classic.
That's your real name? And let's see.
Yo, what? Omar De Armas is in chat giving out gift subs?
Shout out to Omar.
What's up,
there.
Omar? Holy
Shout out,
shit.
another
dude.
shout out. Yeah.
I didn't know you were in chat. Hey.
Hey.
We gotta watch his Dark Materials, dude. Come on.
Final word. Rise of the Ronin is pretty good. Pretty good. I understand there are hard choices to be made. We're somehow in Q4 in March. But if Rise of the Ronin is something that looks like you want to check out, I'm telling you, it's a good time. I like it. Obviously, maybe it'll get long-winded in the end. Who knows? But moment to moment, feels good. Like that game. And we will see you before the next Black Moon rises.